this is the most awkward situation ever. Like, I've got to see that dude in the locker room tomorrow, and you just told him to go fuck himself right here in front of 85 people on the 10th tee at Aronimink.
Big show today. It's major championship week, as we've mentioned, as we've talked about, as we've posted throughout. We only get a couple weeks a year, man, where it is major championship golf. It's as big as it gets. The stakes are as high as they get. And we have an awesome show. We have a major championship winner. Brian Harman comes on. He's walking through the hotel lobby. Brendan Jones goes, grabs him. Kiz is his best friend on tour. So they just kind of riff. We get into all kinds of stuff, a little bit off the rails. A lot of good detail about the course this week, history here at Aronimink, and really fun stories from Brian Harman and Kiz going back and forth. Awesome show. We get also just into the PGA of America, PGA golf professionals, 20 of them playing in this event, what to expect, storylines, and all of it is brought to you by Chevy and the Chevy Equinox. I actually have a Chevy Equinox right out there. I can see it from here, driving it this entire week. I drove it to get a Philly cheesesteak right when I got here. I just love the thing. I also have my golf clubs with me. I've had them with me for like a week. I've got a bunch of luggage, the storage space in the back of this thing that get hidden storage. Chevy Equinox is just awesome. It looks good. It drives great. Got the touchscreen display, which I've needed to get through Philly. It's a busy town. I landed right at rush hour. So you need that screen right there to be easy to get around so you don't crash, hurt yourself, all of that. I'm listening to the Noah Khan on my Spotify as I'm driving around, which we get into at the end of the show, a ton of Noah Khan talk. And again, all of it accessible because that great touchscreen display from the Chevy Equinox.
Yeah, big week, big American major week, and that's right. A big American car brand. We're on the road. We're going to be on the road. We'll be out in San Francisco for the next Barstool Classic. Then we're hitting it to Ireland, which I don't know if we're going to be driving a Chevy over there, but that'd be unbelievable if we were.
We could find a Chevy.
We could try and find a Chevy.
I don't think they make their own cars in Ireland.
You got to have Chevys.
They got to have Chevys, right?
I think they got Chevys over there.
That's going to be our goal, is to try and find a Chevy.
Import-export situation.
Yeah, just huge week, and shout out to Chevy for being a part of it. We've got an event tonight, hole-in-one event,
right.
So sold out, and also sold out on the spectator side. So it's going to be a great packed event tonight. Chevy's a part of that as well. So hopefully someone makes a hole-in-one tonight, and let's get on with the PGA Championship here.
With active trim, the Equinox is at home on dirt and gravel. It's a fantastic vehicle, and again, they support and sponsor this show, so we appreciate you, Chevy. Chevy Equinox is your do-it-all, go-anywhere SUV. Foreplay, presented by Barstool Sports, second show of the week. Again, major championship week. We only get 4 of these a year. We really get like 6 events a year that stand out, maybe 5, depending on how into the President's Cup you are. And when it's not a Ryder Cup year, we get the Players' Championship, we get 4 majors, and we get a team event. So, exciting. We're in Philly. We're in Newtown Square, I believe, Pennsylvania. I do like Philly. I know Philly gets, the reputation. Delco, Dave's always on there calling all of them scumbags. He's got the Boston, Philadelphia rivalry, but Philly's got a ton of history. I love the town. I spent all day yesterday at Aronimink, so I'm excited to get into all that. I had dinner last night with Brian Harman. Me and Brian Harman and my friend Kyle Cochran, we had a delightful time. We talked a lot of shit about Kiz. He actually added a little bit of color Kiz to the 2018 Aronimink story, which I really enjoyed.
Oh yeah, he was with me, I think.
Yeah, so I was like kind of grilling him at dinner a little bit. I was like, "So how'd you do in 2018?" He goes, "Oh, I finished fucking last. I was terrible." He goes, "Me and Kiz were like last." And I was like, yeah, actually, Kiz was T58. We just talked about it on the pod. There was like 60 people in the event. And he goes, yeah. He's like, so me and Kiz, it was a total washout. We wake up Sunday morning, and he was like, this is when the playoff events were in the fall. He's like, so football's on. So he's like, we wake up Sunday morning, and there's fucking pouring rain, and there's water, like a river runs through the parking lot. And we're like, we ain't playing today. Let's go to the bar. And he's like, me and Kiz from like 1 p.m. on just got shit-faced at the bar, drinking. And he's like, and then the rules officials at like 5 p.m. hit us up, and we're like, hey guys, you got to get ready to go. I think we're going to play in like an hour. We're going to a couple hours of golf in. And he said the 2 of you started shitting your pants.
Yeah, we were not in any shape to be playing golf on the PGA Tour. Thank God we didn't have to go out that night. And then they changed their whole tune by 7 and said, yeah, it continued to rain since we didn't go out. Well, there's no chance we're playing on Monday. So we decided to stay and watch Sunday Night Football and keep going till maybe 11 p.m. And as we woke up at 5 a.m. to that great bzz, bzz on your bedside table and said, your new tee time is 7:32. I said, oh, dear God.
He did say in your guys' defense, you both were like, you had to shoot 40 to make it to the tour championship. So you both were just like, let's get the hell out of here. Who cares? But, dude, he's just the man. I love that guy. He cracks me up. He's got such fire to him, you know, like when we get him going on topics. He reminds me of Charlie Hoffman a little bit. We're like, Brian Harman's got a lot to say about stuff.
Yeah, and he's smart and he's very quick-witted. So everything he says makes sense. He has his own little way of saying it, if you will. And you may have to take a minute to kind of figure out where he's trying to go. But, boy, he can always bring it home, and he always has a point. And there's no one that believes in his point more than Brian Harman, and that's why he's a successful golfer.
God, I love that. Yeah, he was saying, too, last night. So I ran into him at the elevator. We're at this hotel that turns out a bunch of players are saying. I saw Luke Donald. I saw Jason Duffner, which is the only time really I've ever seen Jason Duffner outside of a golf course setting, except for your event, Kiz, when we were down in Aiken in like 2019, maybe that was.
Yeah, probably so.
But bunch of players staying here. I saw Spieth's agent here, so it's like,
how's Duff Daddy looking these days?
He looked pretty good, dude. He was at the bar,
kind of like a slob, right? I mean, in the nicest way. He like doesn't really care about.
I don't know. I haven't seen. I mean, I talk to Duff all the time, but I haven't seen him in this year. So,
dude, remember when he was like? Remember Duffnering was really got like a trend.
Oh yeah,
where you would just lay there and look dumpy, basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then, dude, I think he got like divorced, and then he got skinny.
Yeah, skinny Duff. You never know what Duff you're gonna get. You can have skinny Duff, fat Duff,
right?
Lazy Duff. Yeah.
I've got friends like that. You never know. Yeah. They
shapeshifters.
Shapeshifters is the word.
He got skinny and he played terrible.
Oh man!
And then I remember he like gained it back, and I think because he needs that waggle and like turn around his belly a little bit. That's sort of like his game. But dude, I laughed like right when I was checking in. I just kind of looked over to the left, and I don't think he was drinking. He was just there were a bunch of people at the bar right here. This was Monday night. And he was standing there doing shadow swings with somebody, just like he was like you see those guys at the gas station pump. And I was like, wow, I'm in the right hotel for sure. But to bring it back to last night, you know, going to meet my boy Kyle. We're gonna get a burger and a beer, maybe a cheesesteak, maybe a Philly cheesesteak and a beer, and come out of the elevator. And I see Brian Harman. He's got a bunch of groceries. He's got like sunscreen, donuts, and a couple other things. And I was like, oh, Harman, what's up? And we chit-chatted right outside the elevator for like 10 minutes. And he's weighing in on Kiz and CBS and NBC. And we're just we're chit-chatting. And then like Luke Donald comes out of the elevator. And he's a Barstool guy, Luke Donald. And like he's been like a Dave guy for a while. Remember that?
Right.
So I know he's like got a little bit of a tangential relationship to Barstool. So we kind of did a double take. And I was like, oh, hey, Luke. But then I'm standing there with Brian Harman, who's like a U.S. Ryder Cupper. And here's Luke Donald. So he didn't stop or anything. And I was sort of like, I'm like, you know, as you guys would be, I'm sort of like, wow, I'm in the middle of something right now. There's a little bit of tension in this room. But anyways, me and Harman keep chit-chatting. And then I'm like, by the way, I don't want to hold you up. I'm going to meet my buddy for a burger if you want to join us. And he was like, man, I ain't doing shit. I'm going to join you. I was like, amazing. So he came, joined us for dinner. And he was saying one thing he was like, dude, he's like, it sucks now. Like, Kiz isn't out here every week. He's like, nobody hangs out anymore is kind of what he was saying. It reminded me of the Thomas Peters conversation a little bit.
Yeah.
But he's like, bro, nobody hangs out. Everybody's just like hardcore, you know, fitness, wellness. They've got their family and their like private chef. And he's like, for the last 15 years, we used to like on Monday and Tuesday or Monday or Tuesday, he's like, we would get beers. We would have a burger. We would like hang. We needed it for our sanity. And he was like, I got nobody to fucking hang out with. So yeah, I'll come out to dinner with you guys. And he was great, dude. He was the man at dinner, but I didn't really realize he was just kind of talking about how the culture had shifted, I guess, on tour.
Yeah, not only the culture, but I tell people this all the time. When you first start out on the tour and you're a rookie and you're young and you're probably not married, you don't have family, you all collectively hang out, right? Because there's nothing else to do. It's like a big fraternity of guys in the same area and part of life. And then as you continue to grow in your PGA Tour career, you start to get married. So your wife starts traveling. So maybe you go out with couples that are their wives are with them. Then you start having children. And then you hang out with people that have children because people that don't have children don't want to go to dinner with people with children. And then you start getting to the point like Brian and I are now where your family's in school and they can't travel anymore. So you're sitting in these Hiltons by yourself and there's really no one to hang out with. And, you know, obviously the culture's changed, like he said. You know, I tell people all the time when I first got on tour, you walk by the range and it was people opening Diet Cokes and lighting cigarettes. And now it's guys hitting, all you hear is protein bottle shakes and TrackMan beeps when you walk down the range with their 7 people standing behind them. They got their trainer, their sports psych, their caddy, their golf coach, their short game coach, and their probably pants person and their hat person. And it's just like, man, you see all the people that walk down these fairways in practice rounds? It's like it's an army of people. Thank God we play for $20 million most weeks, because I don't know how these guys afford to pay all the people they're bringing along with them. But he's in that, Brian's 4 years younger than me. I'm 42. I think he's 38. He's in that same exact spot I was when I was like, man, this isn't nearly as much fun as it used to be, when I'm sitting out here and nobody's asking to go to dinner, and I don't have anyone my age that's out here that want to go, gamble on Monday Night Football, or, watch the basketball game or whatever on Monday, have a few beers and maybe sleep in till 9 o'clock tomorrow. Instead, everybody's going to bed at 9, renting houses, having chefs, doing their thing. But I get it, man. We're playing for so much money and there's so much at stake. If you want to be a superstar, you gotta do your best to prepare. But like Harman said, for your sanity, you got to have some way to get away. I don't know if it's on Monday of a major week, but you play in 3 weeks in a row like he has, by Monday of the 3rd week, you are dying to do something with some friends socially.
Dude, I know you're alluding to that being like a new school thing on the range with the beeps and the coaches, but did you see Padraig Harrington on the range yesterday?
Oh, yeah. I was standing right behind him.
Can you pull this up, Richardson? Are you able to do that when we're on the road here? Did you see his setup on the range? It's preposterous.
He was making a scene too, Frankie.
Dude.
Like, I don't know if the clips got out there, but he in front of me, like, he immediately, like, when he first set up his gigantic, pole vault contraption,
Dude,
or whatever it was,
insane.
he was like, it wasn't perfect, so he kept hitting it with his club and making a scene.
Well, that's the clip.
Okay,
he
good.
never takes a swing in the clip that I'm referencing.
No way.
And he just keeps knocking into this pole that's going over his head. And you've got I think Bryson behind him, and then Rory McIlroy behind him, just absolutely flushing golf balls. And then you've got Patty Harrington, just like he's like in a. Here he is, dude. This is a major championship driving range. Watch this.
53 years old after been playing golf for 30 years professionally, and this is what we're still doing.
Oh wait, the video's not moving for me.
That's a little glitchy.
It's okay.
Oh, you might need to show on your computer, whatever.
Either way, that's why I can see
it. Yeah, you can see it. It's outrageous. Very funny,
dude. I remember. I think he did an episode of Faraday back in the day when that show was running. And they went to his golf compound, and it was full of things like that, where he would just make up these incredible contraptions to try to figure out his golf swing. Yeah, that's going next level there for Patty Harrington.
He's a tinker, man, and he's like a big instruction guy. Like, every time I've seen him, I want you to see this whole video, dude. Okay. This was him on the range, Trent.
He can't get comfortable. Look at him.
He's like incapable of not hitting this thing.
Oh my! And is that Cam Young behind him?
Oh, it's Cam Young and Rory.
Just roasting golf balls.
Yeah.
That thing is almost in Cam Young's face.
Yes.
Cam Young's like, what's this? Why is there like a pool?
This is uncommon, right? To have something that outrageously large on the range. I mean, I know you're kind of like you're an equipment guy as well.
Space boots.
You have the space boots, and you always got some sort of alignment sticks or whatever. But like that's almost like out of bounds, isn't it? It's like ridiculous.
Especially on the range there where there's no space. I don't know if y'all been to the range yet, but I'm sure guys are so crowded amongst each other trying to find spots to hit. That's when you just go over there and pick up the sticks and throw it halfway down the range and like, get that shit out of here, buddy.
Bro, we literally thought there was another range. Like, I thought the actual range was a side range, and then we were like, "Where's the main range?" Because it's so claustrophobic over there. It's wild.
Kids, I saw there was a TaylorMade video yesterday. And I thought it was great. They were going through like Rory, Scotty, Tommy preparing for a round of golf at a major championship. Did you have? They all had a different thing that they were working on. Is that just like from week to week? You're obviously working on something on the range, but like, did you have a set routine that like when you got to the range, and was it itemized for like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you would work on certain things, or was it just how you were feeling?
Mostly just how I was feeling. Obviously, you speak with your swing coach and the things you're trying to accomplish, but the technical part of it winds down as you get closer to Thursday because you got to get ready to play. If you're still out there tinkering on Wednesday afternoon with all the technicalities of your golf swing, you're probably still trying to find something. So the best weeks I had in major championships were when, by the time I got to practice round on Tuesday, I was pretty focused on the 2 or 3 things I was working on to play great golf. and I was trying to learn the golf course and really figure out where I'm going to get balls up and down from, working on speed putting, things like that can really help lower your score. If I was standing on the practice round on Tuesday still trying to find something in my golf swing, I knew it was going to be a long week. So you never know when you can catch lightning in a bottle, but yeah, everybody's trying to wind down the technical stuff, especially by, today leading into tomorrow.
Dude, it was so funny talking with Harman last night, who I will defend him. He had 0 beers last night. He just had a cheeseburger. He wasn't doing drinking last night.
Nice.
How fast can he eat a cheeseburger, by the way?
I thought he was going to get 2. He housed the thing. I mean, housed the thing. We had ordered.
Never seen a. You're allowed to say that on here. You probably need to cut that out, Ryan. Never seen a short fella house a steak. Like, literally, if us 5 went to dinner and everybody ordered the same steak, he would be done before we ate our 3rd bite.
Dog.
Let me ask you guys this about eating speed. Do you keep an eye on everybody else, how fast they're eating, and do you then eat yours at that similar speed, or do you go at your own pace?
No, I'm always been a relatively slow eater.
Okay.
And I just will never change that. It ruins my experience if I speed up.
I think I see the field like I'm Peyton Manning. I'm like calling an audible on how fast I'm eating because I want to be at the same speed as everybody else.
I totally get that. It's very socially nice of you. I feel like you being aware. I think mine stems from my dad was a dentist my whole life and always taught us that you had to chew your food like 35 times before swallowing.
Oh, wow.
And so I think I took that to heart as a kid. And so I just chew forever. I do a ton of chewing.
I definitely have buddies though, like Brian Harman, who just eat and they don't care who's there. I'm going to eat as fast as I can, and they're done before I'm halfway done with whatever I'm eating.
I'm weird with eating with if it's something I really, really like if there's a meal that I'm savoring and I want to enjoy it, I'll like mess around and I'll wait. I'll keep a couple bites at the end. Do you do that? Like instead of going to the sides or whatever, let's say it's the best steak you've had in a long time. You'll keep like 3 or 4 more bites, and you'll just take a couple pieces off towards the end. I'm not going all at it at once. I want to make it last.
No, I think my steak eating is pretty linear. I think I go from start to finish. I eat it just like I normally would.
Yeah.
I don't throw them on the side, but I like it's not a bad idea.
Save some for later.
I'll do the highlight of the meal. Make sure that's the last thing I eat.
Yep.
So if it's like
that's similar to what I'm saying.
Yeah, if the highlight is like a nice steak like we're talking about, and I've got mashed potatoes and some broccoli with it, I will never have the mashed potatoes and broccoli be the last bite. The last thing I eat and remember taste wise will be that steak.
For sure.
That's interesting.
I've got 2 things to that. I don't ever notice the speed in which other people eat until I look up and their plate's gone and I'm still got food, and I wonder how you did it. In fact, at Sabonic, when you housed that lobster roll, Trent, I looked over and still had multiple bites left, and you're just sitting there like already scrolling on your phone,
arms
telling me how that was the best lobster roll you ever had.
There are extenuating circumstances when it's that good of a lobster roll. I'm just going to eat it as fast as I can.
Well, that's a great point for what I was just saying. That lobster roll, I could have eaten it in 3 bites, but I saved like a good 3 inches of it, and I left it there, and then I had all the fries, I had the coleslaw, I had everything, and then I finished it with a nice juicy final bite of lobster roll. There's Brian Harman right now.
There you go.
You should get on the show. So you got Kevin Kisner.
Go grab him.
Go get him.
Go grab him. Say
we got Kiz on.
Lobster rolls are different.
Go. He's getting on the elevator.
Lobster rolls are
Harman.
so small. Brendan Jones.
He's not gonna say anything.
I've never seen him walk that
meandering over there. Come on. A little pep in your step.
Sense of urgency, not one of Brendan's
Brendan
talents.
Jones is the best producer in the game.
Yep.
Okay? By far.
I agree.
People have been commenting that on videos too. They're like,
couldn't agree more.
The videos have been absolutely outrageous. They're so good. I think he got denied by Brian Harman.
That's fine.
He got denied by Brian Harman. They've been outrageous. This guy moves like molasses, dude. Slow.
Look, John Rahm said this week, he said, I have a lot of talents. One of them is not like how to turn around a business. I agree with that with Brendan Jones.
Here comes Brian Harman.
Sense of urgency is not really the best one.
Brian Harman. Wow.
Hey,
what
Brian.
a special guest. What's up, brother? Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
Be harm.
There's Kevin Kisner.
Hello, Kevin. When you going to the Keys there, pal?
Tomorrow, buddy. Tomorrow. And they said the fish are there. The house that he's rented is so fat. He's got his whole setup. He made a huge trailer, both his boats down there for him. He's got 2 trucks. He said, I'm just sitting down here waiting on you, bud. I got it all hemmed up.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait to go hit balls in the 40-mile-an-hour wind. Have fun tomorrow, dog.
I guess Riggs passed my message along to you last night when he texted me he was about to have dinner with you.
Yeah, he did. That's cool of you, man. That's cool.
I was telling
I'm
these
happy
guys.
for you.
I was telling these guys how we had a nice little dinner last night, and then we got into how people just don't really hang on the PGA Tour.
Nobody hangs anymore, man. I was like, my best buddy. He's on the podcast now.
He just lives on that screen now.
I was like, we used to go to dinner and we used to play all our practice rounds. Have you guys ever talked to kids about how angry I used to make him at practice rounds?
No.
Yeah.
This is a great story.
So we had a standing. I'll start. I'll let you finish, kids. We have a standing 9-hole Tuesday appointment.
Yeah.
Right, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, whatever time. And inevitably someone's trying to make the turn at the same time, or trying to start at the same time. And Kiz, who's a pretty confrontational guy, I don't know if you've noticed from his time here.
He's been great for clips.
Well, in person, a little less so, especially with because he's such a sweet guy. He'll play with anyone. And but these guys will walk up and be like, I'm like, no, we're full at 2. We're good. And Kiz is over there. He's like, oh my gosh, I just can't believe. I'm like, hey Kiz, we've got only a certain amount of time on this earth. Like, I don't know this guy. I know I'm having a good time with you.
That, by the way. I
know I'm having a good time with you. And Kids over there, he's like, man, that guy's so bad at us.
It's just like the common thing on tour. Like, hey, if there's 2 guys standing there and one guy walks up, everybody's like, hey, man, you can just play with us if you want to. Not even if you don't know him. Not with Brian Harman. Brian Harman's like, no, you're not playing with us. Kiz hit. And I'm like, I can't hit right now. You hit. This is the most awkward situation ever. Like, I've got to see that dude in the locker room tomorrow, and you just told him to go fuck himself right here in front of 85 people on the 10th tee at Aronimink. Like, this is awkward as shit. He goes, hit now, Kiz. And I'd top it down the fairway, and he'd be like, all right, let's go. That's good. We're off. We don't have to play with him.
Kids, I told the story about our last time together at Aronimink last night too.
We just went over that.
I'd totally forgotten about that.
Hey, another funny story is I guess Ken Tackett, the rules official from the tour, is up there doing like whatever they call it, the pre-marking of the course. Last week he texted me and said, hey, I'm at this bar in Philly and you and Brian Harman are legends here. And I was like, do what?
Oh, shit.
And then he goes, yeah, they said you spent an entire day here while you were playing the BMW Championship.
Dude, so we played the Truist last year, which is at Philly Cricket Club, and I stayed at that same terrible hotel on the corner. But when I'm driving in, it's like raining when I land, and I'm like, I drive and I see the hotel, and I drive by a bar. I'm like, why do I know that bar? Like, when that? And I'm like, oh, that's when Kids and I stayed there all day.
Just all
Remember they
day.
had NFL Sunday Ticket, and we decided to bet on every game at the 1 o'clock and the 4 o'clock, and we just couldn't pick a winner all day, and we just laughing at how bad we were playing golf and picking NFL winners.
I couldn't look it up last night. Did I finish last? I'm almost sure.
I think you were last.
Yes.
I think there was like the only people that finished worse were WDs.
Well, okay. I think Louis Oosthuizen in WD.
Yeah, right. Dude, one of my favorite things from last night at dinner too, we were talking about, practice rounds and practice rounds and majors. He was talking about how slow it is, whatnot. And then Kiz mentioned earlier how he was like, there's nobody who does have like more confidence in his own game. And last night Harvey was talking about guys practicing out of the rough. And he's like, man, the fairways literally slope opposite of the dog legs. If you're practicing out of the rough, you ain't making the fucking cut.
Yeah. I mean, the greens are huge. The greens are the biggest greens we'll play all year, probably. Like, if you're chipping out of the, like, you have missed really, really bad. Poorly.
Are all the bunkers in the fairway still 290 to carry? That's all I remember about it.
Yeah, there's, but they moved all the tees back, so a lot of those you can't even get to now.
Oh, okay.
Like
I figured they made it longer. I remember standing on every tee there with Dewey, and he's like, well, everyone's going to hit driver here because they can carry the bunker. You probably should hit 3 wood short of the bunker, but why are we going to do that? So I just hit it in rough or fairway bunkers on every hole.
Nah, the fairways are like way wider. It seems like they backed a bunch of tees up. I don't think they messed with it, but I don't remember the greens being this wild. I mean, greens are wild.
Yeah, a lot of undulation. But remember it rained and it was soft and spongy, so it probably was slow as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that why they're wilder this week? Because they're just faster and
I don't
firmer?
know. They seem like they got a lot to them. I don't remember all that, but we were not well that Monday. So
he's like, well, this place was hard on Monday.
We really only played 3 rounds.
Could not tell you one hole of my 4th round. The fact that I finished that round was impressive. Could not wait to get home. Yeah. I missed the Ryder Cup that year because of that week. Jim Furyk told me that. He's like, you played so bad at the BMW Championship, I couldn't pick you.
You know what? Man makes choices, but the choices make the man.
That was the one you should have been on, too. That was like Paris.
Yeah. You made Riggs
I think I was the
Europe.
lowest guy on the list ever to not get picked.
That was 2 years later.
Okay.
But that's the one I was wrong about Whistling Straits because just that's not necessarily as much of a Kiz type golf course. The Paris one was such a Kiz Brian Harman golf course.
Yeah.
Like they fucking remember we had Bryson and fucking Phil hitting it in the rough.
Tiger and Bryson were the was it
and
was
Tony Finau couldn't hit a fairway and they just chopping it out of rough
on every hole. Was it still 6 picks then or was it only 2 back then?
Yeah, it was less. I think it was like it might have been less because and I remember because when Furyk just got announced, they were like, yeah, his captain's picks in 2018 went like 1-10-1 or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was like Phil. Remember, Phil was like horrific.
Didn't they put Phil and Bryson out in alternate shot?
I think so. They lost like 9-8 or something. I was at that, dude. I was at that thing in Paris. Yes, I was there. We had like a deal, like an apparel deal. It was like my first Ryder Cup. I was so jacked up, and I remember when we went out, I think we won the morning session, which was at like 1 a.m. our time, and so there was nobody to rally behind. I was just in Europe behind enemy lines, wearing like red, white, and blue. And then from the afternoon on Friday. We just got our absolute cocks kicked in with no momentum, and I was just over there like, "This sucks, dude.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't that sweet."
Bad mo,
yeah,
bad mo over there.
It was
Bubba Watson and Webb tells a hilarious story about alternate shot playing with Bubba Watson. There, the second hole's a par 3 with water all down the left, and Bubba tells him he can't play evens because he can't hit that shot. He's like, "I can't hit that shot on land," and it's like you can hit it 80 yards left and just chip onto the green, but there's water left. And they get their pairing and the captain's like, Bubba, you're evens. And he's like, well, we're going to be in the water on 2, Webb. And Webb makes a 30-footer for a 6 for a halve on number 2 in the Ryder Cup.
Come on.
A triple bogey. He tells the story all the time. Bubba hit it 80 yards left in the water. Then I think Webb hit it in the water from the drop zone. Then Bubba hit it on the green from the drop zone, and Webb made it to tie the hole.
Dude, that place was chaos at times. It was just chaos. It was so tight. Like, that was the one where they really nailed it with the difference in the course setup. Where it's like our guys just got fucked. We had like Bryson spraying it as far as he can, be 1 inch into the rough, and it was like unplayable. You had to hit it over a creek, and it was just the whole time we just got our dicks kicked.
Kiz and I played in the practice session like beforehand. We played great.
Remember when we beat everybody's ass?
You and I breaks off of everybody over there.
We went over there for like 8 guys as a practice session, and they wanted to see who would be on teams, and I was like, well, Harman and I'll play all y'all. Y'all just pick a partner. And we just dusted their ass for 2 days.
This was at the golf national.
At the course where they had the Ryder Cup that we
with Jim Furyk riding around watching us. We were beating the shit out of Jordan Spieth, Tony Finau, everybody. Bubba Watson was there because remember Bubba got.
What are we doing with this Ryder Cup team? Dude.
That's crazy. I didn't know anything about that.
Me neither.
But we didn't play good in Aronimink, so we didn't get picked.
Exactly. This place ruined you guys.
Good luck this week, Brian.
Thanks.
No shit. You guys were both right on the edge that week that year of
I
Ryder
finished
Cup.
top 13 or 14 in points.
Yeah.
I'm sure Kiz did too.
I think I was the highest guy. I think I was 9, and he had 4 picks and didn't pick me.
Wow.
That's the one I should have gone nuclear on. I picked the wrong year, man.
What's your schedule today?
Me?
Yeah.
Man, I slept in good today.
That burger was great.
That burger was good.
Phenomenal, dude.
Burger was good. Yeah, I don't really have much of a plan. Do
they not make you sign up for your practice round times this week?
No, it's a total cluster. Man, a guy from the PGA called me last year, and he's like, "Hey, man, I've really been like hunting some feedback on our tournament." I was like, "Are you sure?"
How much time you got, brother?
Dude, I got done with him. He's just like, "Ooh, okay."
I heard some of it last night. I mean,
the practice rounds are out of control.
Yeah.
It is out of control.
Well, I'll just say what you were bringing up that I had never thought of before is the 20 club professionals that qualify and play in the event, which is a cool thing, and nobody ever wants to be anti like that entire thing. But you were talking about it practice rounds that they're like taking pictures on every hole.
Every hole, man.
They're like,
Every hole.
They're
Families
treating it-
out in the fairway,
Right.
You know, and it's I get it, man. If I got that opportunity, I'd have my whole outfit. I'd stoke it all in. But like
influencer
man,
wives out there.
I played by myself yesterday. I think I teed off at like 2:30 probably, and it took me 3.5 hours to play the back nine by
Oh my
myself.
god!
Yeah.
So you're just
Hey, what time did you see me in the? You saw me here at like
it was
7
yeah,
o'clock
yep.
almost.
Mhm.
I mean, I went and got groceries for 5 minutes on the way home and came straight here. And it
What'd
was
you get?
straight
Where
from
would you get in groceries? I was trying to check that out.
bread,
Okay.
peanut butter, honey, cottage cheese, and I don't know, like some plastic bags maybe.
He said donuts, and I said, no chance
Donuts,
on him
donuts.
donuts
No,
masters.
just-
maybe I was
Donuts.
thinking donuts. I saw sunscreen. He had some sunscreen.
Yeah, I
in there.
did get some
Crunchy or
sunscreen.
smooth peanut butter?
Smooth peanut
Yeah.
butter.
Mhm.
And
Now
that's
we'll
what-
fuck a donut up on a hunting trip, but Harman isn't eating donuts major week.
I was wrong. Hand up. You're big. You make your own little sandwiches for
Yeah,
the rounds.
Peanut butter, honey.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
smooth peanut butter.
Hell yeah.
Natural or like Skippy?
No, man, I started looking at these ingredients in this Jif peanut butter, and it's not.
It's not good. I
And
know.
I'm eating a lot of.
Is it not good?
Nah, man.
Fuck.
All
Dude, I
right,
didn't
we're
like
not
it.
going to hold you
So
up all
bad.
day, but I've got a question from something somebody sent me, and I don't know if it's AI.
Oh.
The 5 most important stats to contend at Aronimink. You ready? Strokes gain tee to green, number 1. Strokes gain off the tee, number 2. Approach 200 to 225, 3. Bogey avoidance, which is stupid because that's every week. And then 5 is scrambling. So they're not even valuing putting at all this week.
Who's they?
I don't know. It's just
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, I think the greens are perfect. So I think putting. I mean, you got to make putts.
but lag putting's got to be difficult with all the undulation, right?
Yeah, but they're like pure though, and if you can keep it below the hole, yeah, I mean, if you get it up top somewhere and trying to tickle it down, but yeah, I don't know, man. I still don't. Even though like you see all these stats about how important like strokes gained off the tee and stuff is, I'm like, these guys are still making putts. Like no one is winning this tournament without putting really really well. So I just
And to your point there, every week I get handed the stats before I go on air on NBC, and the leader's never not in the top 10 of putting.
never.
See, that's so
Never.
interesting because I feel like we've had the narrative the last 5 years or so that that's just not true.
I mean, Doral was a great example. Cam Young runs away with it, and I'm like, oh, he must just be like, he's number 1 in putting by like a mile.
Yeah.
He's just, he's whipping everybody on the green.
Yep. That's a great point. Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I wanted your opinion because I read that and there's not one mention of putting in the top 5. So some asshole got AI to do that.
I don't see that as. I mean, maybe they just spread that across like how everyone finishes in the field, and they're like, oh, like the guys that tended to drive it better tended to finish better, and then they make that more important. But like, yeah, the guy that won still, is in the top 10 in putting.
Okay. That's good to know. I also don't understand out here why the 200 to 225 would be so important.
Par
There's only-
threes.
Are they all that distance?
Yeah, there's
Okay.
3 of them that are that.
And then I guess the
distance.
par 5s, you're going to have that much in?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're driving it good, you'll end up with that 200 to 250 number a lot.
There's your answer.
So that's
everybody.
probably why.
There's your answer.
So if you play, like if you knock it on the middle of the greens on the par 3s and you hit all the par 5s into that you can get to, well, you're going to gain a ton of strokes, and then you're probably going to do.
Because those are the hardest shots, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're the most penal. Like, and the shots where you can gain the most because of like, take a hole like 16. 16, like if you can get it in that fairway, which is actually probably the hardest fairway to hit that I've seen so far, just because it kind of rolls away from where the dogleg goes.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a really tough bunker on the front left of the green. But if you miss it anywhere other than like the right part of that bunker, like the correct part of that bunker, or short and right, you have no chance to make birdie.
Yep.
No chance. Super deep rough, short and left, and then pin high right's dead, long's dead. So like if you hit a really good 225-yard shot in the middle of that green, you're gaining shots and you're making a birdie. It's like you're picking up bunches of.
Versus if you're hitting wedges, a couple feet closer than somebody else the whole week, you're not picking up as much
Right.
as the full stroke difference on 16.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. So maybe you didn't get AI'd, kids.
Okay.
That's all
But-
you got. I mean,
No mention of putting.
You
Okay.
still got to putt. You still got to putt. You
Yeah.
have to make
No.
putts.
Yeah.
You know what you're going to use on every hole no matter what?
Yeah.
Butter.
Your putter.
a great point.
Unless I hold a chip. Kids used to get so mad when he was out there. He's at a hold like a bunker shot a week.
Every week? He makes a chip every week? I haven't hold a bunker shot in my career. He makes one a week.
I was like, Kevin, I hold one a week. I was like, so I think about you every time that I make a shot off the green, and I think about you all the time.
Oh, that's great.
It's so good. Every time I would get done, I'd be eating lunch. I'd be like, scroll through Instagram. Oh, Brian Harman from the Greenside Bunker. One hop in the hole. And I'm like, I would make 5 from there, and he made 3. It's just bullshit.
You read a lot. You do a lot of reading.
Yeah, I read a lot.
Bro, Frankie would love all this. We were talking the Dune movies, and he was like, have you read the
yeah.
books?
Have you read the Dune books?
No.
Dude, they're so good.
Really?
They're so good.
So I've never read a book like that where you have to use so much imagination. Where
Man,
on
but
screen,
they break it down like like on the screen, it's all like right there, and it's all great, and but I mean, you read the book, and they just go into so much more detail about all of. You're like, oh, it makes the movies way better. I think. You know, everyone's like, oh, the book's better. I'm like, I don't know. I'll still like watching the movie, but. Man, the Dune books make the movies.
But you're a guy who read Harry Potter, right?
I read the first couple, and then like as I got older, I stopped just because I loved the movie so much.
Okay.
I actually regret it because I loved the first like 3 books. I loved them,
And
then
the books get way better.
Yeah,
Like,
they felt a little
becomes
more
better
childish.
writer.
Yeah. But it worked for me because I read them as a child. So like I went along like when you were supposed to read them, and then I just gave up on them. I just gave up on reading, honestly. But now I read all historical books, which being in Philly is actually really cool. Walking around here, like I just read the 1776,
Sick.
and going through Philadelphia and seeing these old school buildings and the Liberty Bell and all these things is unbelievable. I was just telling Trent, there's a documentary that's coming to Netflix, George Washington. I think it was on, I think it's called Washington, and I think it was on the History Channel, but it's now coming to Netflix. Incredible. I started watching it because it's on Prime right now. Incredible. It's basically a retelling of 1776.
Oh, I
Dude,
gotta watch
but
it.
with like Jeff Daniels narrating it. They interview
Love Jeff Daniels.
they interview like Bill Clinton and a bunch of presidents. It's like,
Oh,
dude, it's so good. Like hearing presidents talk about George Washington and the sacrifice that he made, where they're like, if he just gave up, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. It's so fucking sick.
Beg him to come back, right?
Yeah.
He was done. He
Yeah.
was totally done.
He was like the one guy in history who they wanted to give it to, and he didn't want it.
Didn't want it. Yeah, that's nuts, man.
Gladiator.
But he also just like,
Yeah.
you don't realize that he
Cincinnati
wanted to be like, he wanted to rise the ranks of the British Army. Like he wanted to be like a British, colonel. And they're like, fuck you. You're just like an American. You didn't do well against the French. We're going to basically blacklist you. And he's like, okay, you're going to regret that.
Yeah, if you were
'Cause I'm
born in
coming.
the colonies, they looked down on. They weren't going to let
Yeah.
you rise up in their.
I'm
in their
coming now.
Military.
And also, how many times when you see a replaying of George Washington, like when you read it in the book, you're like, oh, he got flanked and they got destroyed and they had to retreat. Like you just read that, and when you see bullets whizzing by his head, you're like, if one just nicks him in the head, it's over. Like, American history is over because no one else was gonna do what he did.
No.
He's in a field with 50 guys, and the guys are 100 yards away, and he's like, all right, like I don't want to retreat, and Knox is coming over, being like, we gotta go. And he's like, fuck, all right.
Have you done much Francis Marion reading about
No.
that?
I was about to say the Swamp Fox was
Ooh,
coming
the
out. I
Swamp
knew it
Fox,
was coming
brother.
out.
If you
No.
like history, you need to read about the Swamp Fox, Francis Marion in the Low Country,
Ooh.
South Carolina, Savannah,
Oh.
Charleston.
This was always going
P.D.
to come back to Low
Rivers.
Country. Half our dinner was about Low
Well,
Country.
it's
last
unfortunate.
night.
'cause
Hey, they made the movie The Patriot loosely based on the Swamp Fox.
No, I don't.
Really?
I love the Low
Oh,
Country.
yeah. But
I
he
have a
was-
house in the Low
The
Country. I
Swamp
love
Fox,
it.
Francis Marion, not as good looking as I forget the guy's name.
Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson.
Yeah, Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson.
5'2", bow legged, but
But he was a badass.
total monster. Total.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
there.
Mel Gibson
Send
was
that.
like Rambo in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Though. He was like walking around with hatchets and like taking people's necks off. It was
Real
insane.
life Francis Marion, very similar.
Really?
Yes.
It's unfortunate because
Yes.
these 1776 books and all these American Revolution books that I've read, they stop kind of like before the war continues down south.
Swamp
like-
Fox is so good. So we were getting squeezed up north, and they decided that they were going to have a southern campaign, and so they invaded Savannah, and then they were going to come up, and they were all going to meet up there in North Carolina, Virginia, somewhere. They were just going to squeeze the Continental Army. And so as they came up, there was more loyalists in the South than there was in the North. Most of the rebellion was going up in the north. So there's still so they sack Savannah. They're heading towards Charleston, and Francis Marion basically takes a group of volunteers into the woods. They I mean, literally sleeping, like all the scenes from the Patriot when they're in the rowing the boats like into like that's all like where he was in the swamp the deal, and he would just pick at these guys, pick at them,
and stop their momentum, and
fuck those guys.
Drove them nuts.
Wow!
Finally stopped that Southern campaign, and
so there's a whole book about this guy.
Yes.
Oh, I got to read it.
Yes.
On my list. Automatic read.
Same deal. Like they went and they got a bunch, took their uniforms, and like they had all these ferries across the river. So they're in, they're in red coats, and they get these guys halfway across the river, take the.
See ya.
Sick.
we gotta all read this and do a little foreplay book club and have Brian Harman.
Yeah, I love it.
I'd love to.
I love it.
We get to do it at Chicora, where Brian Harman and I sit every afternoon when we're hunting, and he tells me he'll just go through Swamp Fox for 3 hours, and I just sit there and amaze him.
So cool, dude.
Like I don't even need to read the book. I just call Brian and ask him what happened, and
you're like, all right, chapter 6. We left off at the beginning of chapter 6.
Man, isn't that crazy though? Because like I mean, y'all have never heard of this guy, but if that guy doesn't do that,
it's over.
That war is totally different. One person, one like moment in time. That stuff fascinates me.
We're not like playing. You're not playing golf for a living if that doesn't happen.
No,
no
chance.
Who knows? We're like a colony still.
Yeah,
God,
we are paying that tea tax, buddy.
Yeah, we are, dude.
Paying that tax.
We're paying 70% to get some tea.
When that tea tax like 1%.
Yeah, right. Tiny.
It's more about the principle of it, Brian.
Yeah.
Now you can see, Brian, our podcast just goes off the rails in one
it goes
instant,
off the rails.
buddy.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here all day.
I gotta go.
This is so fun.
All right, we'll see you out there.
Kevin.
Thanks, brother. Play great this week. I'll be watching. We'll be watching. I'll send you pictures of tarpon.
You're the man, Brian. Dude. You're the man. What if you could add an AI assistant to your work without leaving your work flow? Built into Microsoft Word, Excel, and Outlook, Copilot works where you work, helping you do more in the apps you already use. We love Copilot, don't we, gentlemen?
We love Copilot. We use it all the time. It just helps in ways that you wouldn't think to use, but once you start using them, you couldn't live without it.
In Microsoft Word, which is a great application, I've been using Microsoft Word since I was like 5 years old, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's as simple of an application that I've ever used. Like, you just need it. It's a necessity almost, like, especially growing up.
Oh yeah,
you absolutely need it. And in today's day and age, what's beautiful is that you can throw notes in there, right? You can throw a bunch of notes in Microsoft Word, and what you're going to get from Copilot is the AI assistant with Copilot is going to turn your scattered notes, your rambling brain, whatever it might be, into a first draft. That's what this AI assistant can do in Microsoft Word, which is just awesome. It's very efficient. It's going to save you a ton of time. And it's going to help you organize your thoughts into, again, a first draft. So, again, the apps go further with Copilot. Make sure you learn more at m365copilot.com/work. Once again, go learn more at m365copilot.com/work. Golf is hard, but protein is easy with one Reese's Peanut Butter Lovers made with 18 grams of protein and 3 grams of sugar. One also is very big into the hole-in-one situation, which is becoming a dominant storyline here on the Foreplay Golf Podcast. Every single person that does what we do for a living or something similar has hole-in-ones left and right. They can't get out of bed without knocking a ball in a hole in one attempt, and we've never done it, so much so that we've got an event tonight that we're doing where it's just exclusively an attempt for dozens and dozens, maybe hundreds of people to try to get a hole-in-one. And so, again, one protein is all over it. We've been close, man. We've got par 3 golf course hole-in-ones. I've got a few. Frankie's got one. People don't count them. There are also hole-in-one odds this week. It's -110, yes and no. So it's basically a pick 'em this week on will there be a hole-in-one at the PGA Championship or will there not? And it just makes me think of one protein and the Reese's Peanut Butter. It's just a delicious, delicious product. You got to get that protein to the building blocks of life. And one protein is all over it.
Yeah, I drove down to Philly last night, and I brought a one protein Reese's Peanut Butter Lovers bar with me. It was like a 7 o'clock. I had dinner earlier in the night, and then it was like a 7:30 drive down. So around like 8:30, you start to get a little hungry as you're driving. It was a perfect pick-me-up. Got me to where I needed to be. So tasty, so perfect. Hole-in-ones, yeah, I mean, it's obviously the talk of the town. There's a lot of rumblings that there was a huge hole-in-one recently in the creator world that hasn't come out yet. that's going to be making waves. So people keep an eye out for that. It definitely wasn't us. That's a fact. It was not us. But yeah, no, it's just we're looking for one. As a consolation, we get the Reese's bars though, which is incredible.
We sure do.
It's fantastic.
Only one Reese's Peanut Butter Lovers is made with Reese's Peanut Butter protein perfected by the one Reese's Peanut Butter Lovers protein bar on Amazon. Again, protein perfected. Link is also in the episode description.
What a great grab right there, Frankie.
Yeah, I mean that was Brendan Jones, but yeah, we did see him come through. That's unbelievable. What a great guy.
Awesome guy.
He's the man, dude.
Way to be, Brendan. Way to be.
Good stuff.
You know,
we were saying that you were walking like molasses over there to get him, so we
didn't
were kind of dogging you.
He was what?
Oh, he's getting coffee.
Oh, he's getting a coffee.
He also needs to go practice for a major.
Yeah, we just kind of pulled him in.
He's literally going to his car right now. It's like we were holding him up.
He goes, I gotta go.
I would like to hear more about this Paris Brian Harman Kevin Kisner pairing thing because I had never heard about that.
So way back when Furyk wanted to take some guys that were going to be, in the pick area, I think it was 6 or 8 of us that went. So they flew us over there to, like, if the British Open was on Thursday, we left Friday night, got over there Saturday morning, played Saturday, Sunday at the Paris golf course, and then they flew us to the British Open, wherever it was that year. I can't remember. What year was that? 18? Was
18.
that wasn't Carnoustie, was it? Anyway, Harman and I were over there, and both of us played incredible. I think we shot like 63, 64 apiece both days, and then didn't get picked for the Ryder Cup. So obviously the Ryder Cup was 2 months later or a month and a half later, and neither one of us played well at the BMW, like is well documented in this podcast.
Well, how'd you play at the Open?
Going off of recent form and not
almost won it.
You're right.
I was
trying to think.
Almost won the Open.
You almost won the Open right after playing well during the practice rounds.
Was that the Carnoustie year?
I
Yeah.
believe
See,
so.
I
All
was
right, so
playing
what the fuck are we
unbelievable.
talking about?
Yeah.
Damn.
But that was in July, and they didn't pick till August. I think the fall, it was, like Harman said, it wasn't until September when we were getting picked because the playoffs were in September. So
this is where
recent form.
This is where my 2 years later rant came from, is that I had played golf that day with Pat Perez, and we were at a bar in Scottsdale. We were having a little steak dinner. We were having a couple how you doings and having a good time, and we were going through the last Ryder Cup and why we gotten our dicks kicked in. We were going through all of this right here about like kids being left off the team.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and you were at that time too, you had like just won, or within the last year, you had won the match play and then finished like second another time at the match play too. So your match play record was like impeccable. And then that weekend you would go on to win the Wyndham Championship. And this was like a couple days before that. We were going through this whole case, and I was like, this is insane. They keep not putting Kevin Kisner on this team.
Crazy.
And I was like, if they don't take him. Now, again, that was the year Whistling Straits. We went on to have the most record-setting U.S. victory
Sure, yeah.
in the history.
Yeah, we
of
did
golf
okay that year.
without Kevin Kisner, which so I was picked the wrong year. But that year, man, God, you and Brian Harman would have been perfect for that team. Perfect.
Yeah, we would have been money over there. It's hard. I've been in the room where you're trying to pick, and it's just so hard to, I finished, 58th at the BMW. I think he's picking the next Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure we went straight from the Tour Championship to the Ryder Cup that year.
Yep.
So I'm sure they're all sitting around going, are we going to put all our eggs in the basket of the kid that was playing great 2 months ago and that's just shot 76 on Monday, not knowing that I was, probably still having some buzz on me. But I was not playing well in the playoffs, obviously, because I didn't even make it to the Tour Championship, and neither was Brian Harman. So when you're sitting in the room on the other side trying to pick, and you got, Phil Mickelson, who's played 100 Ryder Cups, or Kevin Kisner, who just finished 58th at BMW, it's pretty easy choice when you're in that room. And it's so hard to make yourself pick outside the box.
Sure.
I'll just say that. It's just so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember this year we talked about a couple of the guys that we thought may have been on the line. There was, a lot of talk about Goddard, and then there was a lot of talk about Colin Morikawa and Justin Thomas. And I remember bringing up the point during the playoffs that they were both playing pretty well. They were advancing, they were playing well, they were finishing up towards the top, and like they were making it really hard for Keegan to leave off a guy that has historical great record for Justin Thomas. He's a great Ryder Cup player and was playing well in recent form. And then with Colin, yeah, he was moving through the ranks as well. So it was just hard to leave those guys off, even though other guys may have had, better seasons leading into that. It's all about how you were leading up to it. But yeah,
and
it's
if I'm
definitely not
Jim
an easy
Furyk
job.
in 2018 and it's my team and I'm sitting there and wherever making my picks at watching the scores at Aronimink, I'm thinking, all right, we're going to France to away Ryder Cup. Do I want a rookie Kevin Kisner that just finished 58 standing on the 18th tee with the Ryder Cup on the line? Or do I want Phil Mickelson, who's done this 40 times and has got, 6 majors or whatever he's won? I'm probably going to pick Phil Mickelson.
Yeah.
Fair.
Just from an experience standpoint, and it probably may not be right. Obviously, it wasn't right that year. But if it is right, you look like a genius, and if it's not, you look like an idiot.
Right.
What do you think the number is that you would have, is it top 25 and you just make the Ryder Cup team?
Yeah, probably so, yeah.
Right.
Oh,
That's fucking frustrating.
God, that's gotta hurt, dude. That's gotta hurt.
Fuck.
But if you're not playing well, you don't really want to be on the Ryder Cup anyway because you're going to get exposed.
True.
I can't go back into my head in 2018. Obviously, I was playing great 2 months before that, so I'm not sure why I was playing so poorly then. Furyk tells me that I was hurt. That's what he tells me, but I don't remember being hurt. But
Furyk's
every
telling
year that
you
we
you were hurt.
Furyk,
It's like some sort of syndrome thing. Like you were hurt.
He's trying to plant it in your head that you were hurt.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I was hurt. I don't remember. But he
Why did you pick me?
he
You were
tells me
hurt.
every time I bring it up, he's like, dude, you were hurt. I remember.
I don't know.
Kiz is like drunk at the bar. Like, why didn't you pick me, dude? He's like, you were hurt.
It's like, was I
You
hurt?
were-
Yeah, you don't remember? Your
He
neck was really
grabs
bad.
your neck. He goes, you were really hurt. Oh.
I just know. I mean, I would take Brian Harman and Kevin Kisner versus anybody. That's a duo that I
know.
I would trust with just about anything.
I know, man. You guys would be great out there.
But
God.
like that was also the height of the boys club thing, and they weren't really going into who would make a good team as opposed to like who was like already on the team for years and years and years.
Yeah, that was the year too. Tiger won the Tour Championship on Sunday, and that was his first win in like 6 years. And then,
Yeah, they went straight there then. I remember that.
and then
Yeah, 'cause
on
they had to fly
Friday,
all
the
night.
Ryder Cup started in Paris.
Yeah.
Remember
There
how
were no
insane that
locker
was?
room guys. That was like pre-locker room guy
Yeah.
USA team.
Dude, and that was the one where they split up. Furyk split up Reed and Spieth for the first time, and then P. Reed's wife called the New York Times after
Yeah.
and like sewered Furyk.
That's right.
The opposite of a locker room guy.
So yeah,
Excited to have her back in the fold here in a few months.
Should be exciting.
excited. Use golf facts.
Yeah, I can't wait to see. Maybe we'll get her on the pod as a guest.
Oh,
that
my
would-
God.
Shout out, Miss Reed. You're allowed to be a guest whenever you want. I'll open invite from Kevin Kisner. If the other 3 don't want to participate, I'll handle it on my own.
Buddy, maybe the top one guest we can get right
Yeah.
I think that's our white whale.
Yeah.
for sure. Cersei Lannister, dude.
Yeah.
It might not
Open
make the
invite.
waves of like a Tiger interview, but in the golf world, in the know, that's as big as it gets.
Dude,
Yeah.
get her like a glass of wine. and
Oh
just be
my
like,
God.
Let's hear it. Let it rip.
Dude,
Let us
I'll always
know
remember
all the problems.
It was at Bethpage, the PGA
Phenomenal.
Championship, when we saw her just picking up Patrick Reed's golf balls and rolling them back to him. And she had a fucking notepad in her hand, and she was writing notes, handing it to the caddy. It was just like, and
Bro.
the caddy's her brother. It's just, you can't make any of it up.
She had a golden dress on,
Yes.
walking across the
In high
practice
heels.
screen, stomping in people's lines
high
that
heels.
had like all kinds of putting contraptions set up. Just could not have given a fuck less. Oh,
Walked
she's
right
perfect.
across the putting green, right in front of Bethpage Black. So good, dude.
Love it.
But also
Love it.
made us laugh
Love
out
it.
loud, and we were like,
Oh.
we were hooting and hollering. We were going crazy. We're like,
Yeah.
there she is.
An incredible character in the game of golf.
Yeah, that was like around. That was leading up to too when we were like Patrick Reed's North Korean media. Like,
Yeah.
we were not far off from that. Where
Yeah.
P. Reed had a little stretch kids where he just would only give interviews to basically me for some reason.
Was that Wingfoot?
Wingfoot? It was like a couple years later. He was like leading the tournament at Wingfoot.
Yeah.
And we would do these walk and talks. Jake Bass would hold the phone and walk backwards like Ryan Richardson, and he would just like kept running into ropes and stuff while we were interviewing Patrick Reed. But yeah, she would be a white whale. I think the golf
Let's
world.
send her an invite. Bree Jones, find her email. Let's send her an invite.
He's
her
on it.
You remember when I did the interview on him and I said I know a few guys that wouldn't piss on him if he was on fire, and then everybody just assumed that I said I wouldn't piss on him if he was on fire?
Yes.
Well, then we were still playing together, him and I, and we always were, talking shit to each other as we played. We had a very cordial relationship. And then we played together. I'll never forget, Kessler was caddying. We played together in Mexico City. P. Reed shot like 62 that day. And we get back to the hotel and we all get in the elevator together. And as they got out and I had to keep going, Kessler was like, damn, kids, P. Reed was on fire today. Why didn't you do anything? And I was like, still wouldn't piss on him, bud. And then the elevator shut. That's like one of the last times I remember seeing him. After that, I hadn't seen him in forever.
No way. Jeez.
Damn.
But I didn't even say in the interview that I said I know some of his ex-teammates wouldn't piss on him if he was on fire, but everyone in the media sucks and takes it out of context.
Of course.
Oh, for
sure.
shit.
Of course.
Shit. Yeah, that's funny. I still talk to Kessler quite a bit. He texts me about all. I think he's a big listener of the show, so he'll love that story. But he's good. He's been great with like texting me about updates on like their path back and
cool.
Seeing the invites or the like the fallout from Live Now, and him just kind of commenting on like where guys are at and how him and P. Reed are like, you know, going the route that they're going. So Kessler too was like, remember he was the genesis of us versus Old Man Golf Media at the 2019 President's Cup
he like punched a fan
in Australia. He like hit a fan and got suspended from the tournament. And then we got like the first quote from him. And then that turned into like us mocking other journalists who care about getting the quote first. And then that's what led to our battle with Old Man Golf Media.
Did y'all win the battle or no?
Oh, yeah.
Significantly.
Still here.
Jeff Shackelford came on the show right after that, and we were hooting and hollering at him.
He was unprepared.
He was like, you guys are so self-centered. Like, basically, his argument was that our form of media is all about ourselves. And then after he finished his rant, I'm like, hold on, sorry, I didn't hear what you said. I was reading jeffshackelford.com. He has a website called jeffshackelford.com where his name was depicted like the Hollywood sign.
So funny. In my phone, I have a no media list that I write down cocksuckers that I'll never do media with. And right here, Shackelford.
Yeah, no, he was
right
like, you
here.
guys are so self-centered. Everything's about like me. Like we like to tell the story. And yeah, every one of his posts and his like merchandise was on jeffshackelford.com. So
yeah,
I told him I was going to put him in a home.
Since 2020, he's been on a list of no
That's a good
media
run.
for me.
That's a really good run.
Do you want to go through the rest of the list?
Yeah, sure. Well, I don't even know half these guys. Alan Shipnuck's on there.
He was going to be one that I guessed.
For sure.
Yeah, Brian Wacker, you remember him? He's gone though. I think he's done.
I know that name, but I don't really know who that
passed
is.
away? Or is he still with
The
us?
funny one is I've got Steve Johnson, parentheses, whoever the F that is.
What a list, dude.
I love that.
This is a great list.
Someone just pisses him off on the range. He just goes to his phone.
I mean, there's no telling when these people piss me off, but I just added to it throughout my career.
I wish it had notes on like the date and timestamp of when you added it.
Yeah, that would be even better. My last update was September 15th, 2020. So,
Oh, you've had a clean run these last 6 years.
yeah. Well, I hadn't added anybody.
Right.
That's real nice.
Yeah, you might have got the list perfectly now. You just do media with whoever you want to. What if you could add an AI assistant to your work? Once again, you don't want to be leaving your workflow. Built into Microsoft Word, Excel, and Outlook, which are huge programs that you need to be using all the time, huge apps.
Yeah.
You're going to have to use to get through life. Everybody has been, again, throughout our entire life. Copilot works where you work, helping you do more in the apps you already use. We're talking Excel, and we are talking generating insights from your data. So Excel, look, you plug a ton of stuff into Excel. It could be anything. It could be in any line of work. You could do it personally, whatever it might be. It's easy to plug data in. It's not easy to know what the hell that data means. The AI assistant from Microsoft Copilot is going to generate insights for you from your data. It's going to be smart where you're not smart, basically.
I think there's an argument to be made that Excel runs the world. The people who run it correctly and do it in a way that nobody else does or thinks of, they're ahead of the game. And I think Copilot and Microsoft Excel, that if you combine those two things, you're going to be ahead of the game.
And anytime I hear, like in a meeting or something, or even in a roundtable discussion amongst people that they're trying to get a plan, they're trying to put something together, and somebody points is like, that's our Excel spreadsheet guy. That I know that guy runs the world.
He does.
Remember years ago, I showed you a video. I think we put it on the Foreplay Instagram of a guy swinging, and he just kept swinging and missing, and his feet were squeaking.
Yeah.
And then everyone was hooting and hollering in the background.
Oh, yeah.
So the guy whose dad that was, it was like one of my friends from college. So this kid, he married this girl who's now famous on social media for talking about Excel. So she's like Miss Excel or something like that.
Yeah.
And she does a little dance and she shows you, it's like a TikTok video. And
Gotcha.
she has millions of impressions and followers just talking about all the ins and outs of Excel. Like that really opened my eye to how important Excel is.
Dude.
That there are content creators around certain little buttons to hit and key command combinations to be able to take this list and turn it into a graph or be able to do this. And the fact that now they have the AI assistant.
Yep.
If you're listening to this and you work with Excel, I would assume that like if you don't already have this Microsoft Copilot assistant, you will now be using it, because why wouldn't you want it to make it as easy as possible? It looks like a house of horrors if you don't know what you're doing.
That's right.
To me, it's a house of horrors.
No, it could be a nightmare. And Excel has been huge for me and my brother with the Pinehurst house. I can't pay for that bad boy on my own, so we need people to be renting that spot.
Yeah.
And the amount of information that you put in there that you can get out of Excel, like occupancy and like the rate of occupancy, is huge, because if a group of like 3 come in and stay versus a group of 10 come in and stay, that's a big difference on like the per person rate that they're technically getting. And so understanding that, of like, how should you charge? Where should you charge? All those insights come from Copilot and the Microsoft Assistant, AI Assistant from Microsoft Copilot in Excel. So it's just incredible how effective that can be and how it can save you a lot of time. The apps, they go further with Copilot. Learn more at m365copilot.com/work. That is m365copilot.com/work. Kiz, I'm curious your thought on tree removal on golf courses. This has kind of emerged as a debate because at Aronimink, the restoration, Gil Hance and Jim Wagner, trees grow, as people know. That's what they do.
Yeah.
And they grow to such an extent that they dramatically affect golf courses. And I heard it put a really good way by Gil Hance, where he said, trees take everything that grass needs. And he was like, sunlight, nutrients, water. Trees absolutely dominate grass in that regard. And so in order for turf conditions to be at the level that they need to be today, which they weren't at 100 years ago, the grass to be kept so tight and lush and all of it to be healthy, you need that grass to have every advantage that it can have. It needs all the sunlight, it needs all the water, it needs all the nutrients that are available in that area. Giant trees with giant roots swallow all of that up. And then also they kind of highlight the fact that when the golf course was built, they go back to the photos, the golf course did not have trees. Over the last 100 years, the trees have grown, and therefore it's not meant strategically, visually, all of it, the way that Donald Ross, in this case, the architect, built the golf course. John Rahm, I saw in a devil's advocate argument, was like, well, they fucking planted the trees. What they think was going to happen to the trees?
It's a great point. It's a really strong point.
He was like, they clearly knew when they planted the trees that the trees were going to grow into trees. And so whose intention are you really, which evidence are you really using to decipher the architect's intention and what he thought the golf course was going to look like in the year 2026 when he built it in 1915 or whichever golf course we're talking about? You, as a professional golfer, look, trees are, a lot of members at courses love trees. A lot of golfers love trees. They're beautiful. Trees are beautiful. And they're very strategic. Trees make golf courses interesting. They define golf holes versus, I would say like Oakmont, for example. I love Oakmont. Treeless golf courses benefit your boy who sprays the golf ball. I might be spinning it left to right one day. I might be spinning it right. I don't fucking know. No trees help me out in that regard. Me and Mike Barbuti text about that all the time. He's like, no tree, I play great. Oakmont's a good example of like when you walk out there, it does look like just a gigantic field and like holes are hard to kind of decipher, whatever. You as a professional golfer, again, you're the top 20 player in the world for a very long time. I think you're going to return to that, Kevin Kiss. You're going to win the Colonial. It's going to be awesome. But what do you think about trees on golf courses as someone that has a very different perspective than we do?
I don't know. I think you nailed it on your rant. Everything that I think in my head is, for the perfect turf conditions, you can't have a bunch of trees growing alongside the fairways. You're just not going to be able to grow the type of grass you need to make the turf conditions the highest quality possible. But my favorite golf when I was, growing up and going up to the Northeast is seeing those gigantic tree-lined fairways in the Northeast. it just made you feel like championship golf is this 200-foot oak tree is lying down the fairways, and there's 4-inch, 6-inch rough, and there's tight fairways. It just felt like a major championship to me when I got there early in my career. It's like, man, but I'm also from the Southeast where we just have pine trees. And I think it's just such a huge part of the strategy of learning how to play the game, because you get behind trees. You got to learn how to hit it low. You got to learn how to curve it left to right. You got to learn how to curve it right to left. And, Gil Hansen's doing a great job of trying to make you still work the golf ball with his design without trees. But I like trees. So I just put it back on the onus of the superintendent of figuring out how to grow grass around the trees.
Yeah. I definitely grew up playing more tree-lined golf courses, definitely on Long Island, public golf, tree line, made it a point to have to hit it straight, which I felt like was my strong suit when I was growing up. And now as we've gotten older and we've gotten more access to golf courses, some of the more elite clubs definitely take the trees down. You play Shinnecock. Shinnecock back in the 90s when they had the U.S. Open there was tree-lined. And now you look at Shinnecock now in 2026, every single hole had trees going down the left and right of the fairways, and now you look at it and there's like 3 trees out there. So the more elite clubs that I've played, I just played Atlantic out there out east on Long Island, no trees at all. So I definitely feel more comfortable on a tee box when there is no trees. But if I had to choose, I think a strategically placed tree is my vote.
Yeah.
Like I do like when there is a couple, maybe there's one like overhanging a green and you can take a nice photo and it makes it beautiful. And there is strategy maybe off of a tee. You can't like just blast it into the other fairway because there's trees that are blocking your path to the other fairway and you have to keep it down the one that you're on. But if I had the choice to like build my own golf course, I would definitely go minimal trees just because I like that aesthetic a little bit more. As the years have gone on, I've grown to enjoy that. And I just think off the tee, it's just a very more relaxed feeling of being able to just like know that you're just going to play your ball wherever it goes. We're going to have an easy shot. And that's just because I grew up just having to always hit behind a fucking huge trunk of a tree. And it was always like the worst part of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think trees have a very big place in American golf. I really do. And I didn't always feel that way over the last 5 or 6 years. Like when I first started getting like another level of golf nerdy and starting like follow some architecture people and Andy Johnson and the Fried Egg, and that was like I was like drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm like, fuck trees, man, get rid of all of them. Trees kill grass, fuck trees. Now I'm sort of like you guys are saying, where it's like certain courses and certain strategy I have no problem with, and you'd be stunned at how many trees are out there, by the way. Dude, when they talk about like Oakmont, they're like, yeah, we took out 8,000 trees. You're like, what? How could there be that many trees? Like on a particular golf hole, you'll think like, oh, maybe there's 6 trees. There's like 100 trees on a golf hole, which you just don't process in real time.
Right.
What I like is like, okay, so take out 90 of them, and you've still got 10 trees on the golf hole that are strategic, like Kiz said, where it's like you can't just bomb it left if it's a dogleg left. You can't just send it hard left, cut it off, and then have nothing in. Guess what? If you don't hit it straight and you hit it left, you got no shot in the left trees. My home course back in St. Louis, Bogey Hills Country Club, is as tree lined as it gets, and it needs it. That's like the identity of the golf course. You have to hit it straight. You can have multiple holes like at the RBC Heritage at Harbortown. You could have multiple holes where like you're in the fairway and you got no shot at the green. I love that. Like that's what that golf course needs. It's short. It's a little bit quirky, and one of the great, and that's part of the country too. Like we are very wet. 2 of the biggest rivers in the country come together. Yep. The Missouri and the Mississippi. It's a flat, like Midwestern, rain-soaked, clay-based spot that's like always wet, and that produces tall, healthy trees. So that's like part of the landscape. So I guess what I would say is like it is sort of a case by case, but I'm not as anti-tree as I used to be. And I think Ron makes a good point of like, and you'd have to go back to who planted the trees and who decided them. But I do think it's a little bit ridiculous to be like, well, in 1921, when Donald Ross built the golf course, these trees were not here, so he didn't intend them to be here. And it's like, well, Donald Ross knew in 1921 that fucking trees grow up into the air. I mean,
well, I had talked to one of the caddies at Shinnecock because he had taught. It was our guy Ian. The first time I had went when I made that eagle when I hold it out, which in the video I may have had the wrong information on that one, so you guys will see that when we go to Shinnecock.
Well, it wasn't wrong. It was like an inflated.
Yeah, I just honestly thought it was 148, but it just turns out it wasn't. He was telling me like, because I was like,
he was chipping actually.
Because I was like,
had the flat stick
I can't
out,
believe how how many trees were out here? I was like, why? And he goes, well, this is how it was intended to be built. This is how it was before the trees. And I was like, well, how'd the trees get here? And he was saying like as the years go on, members like donate a tree. That was like a thing back in the day. Like your family would like donate a tree, and you'd have a piece of the golf course. Was his understanding of it. Now I don't know if that's true, but that's my thought process. Is these old school big clubs, when you were a member, like that was your tree, and then like as you maybe if that was a standalone one, and that was like the Miller family tree or whatever that might be.
Kind of messed up.
Now, as years and years and years go on, no, but I don't know necessarily that was a golf course or like a golf architect's vision. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So I would go against what Ram said, and I'd be like, however it was intended to be built, I would just take that side. Why anything that happens between then and now, there was no way that was Donald Ross's opinion or thought process.
And I think like Shinnecock for me is a good example of. I think that place is, again, for me, I'm not some golf course architect aficionado, but for me, that place is meant to have no trees, the wind sweeping across there on Long Island in the Hamptons. You're between the bay and the Atlantic Ocean, and like you're gonna get wind swept. We talked about every hole sort of points in a different direction, so you get crosswind, then you get downwind, then you get into, then you get off the right, then you get off the left, and without the trees, you feel that it gets it's more amplified without trees, and that vista is what it's meant to be. That is so. Like, it is mesmerizing the whole time that you're looking up at the clubhouse. When you're at the clubhouse, you can look down and see every hole on the property. That place is meant not to have trees, but like Belle Reve in St. Louis, that motherfucker's meant to have endless trees.
Right.
Yeah,
that's like what makes the golf course.
There's ways to perfectly put them out there. I mean, like Augusta National has a perfect amount of placed trees. You know what I mean? Like you are on 13, you can hit it into the trees. There's ways that you can place them and still have holes also like at Augusta where it all kind of blends together and you have openness and you have wide fairways. Like there's ways to do it. TPC Sawgrass has perfectly placed trees.
Yep.
Like it doesn't feel like a tree line course, but when you're out there, you're like, oh, if I pull this one on the fourth hole at Sawgrass, wherever it might be, I'm going to be in the trees. Or if I push it, I'm going to be in the trees. There's ways to do it where it's not just these big, bushy, just tree line tee to green.
See, it's interesting because 11 at Augusta, has been very controversial, the decisions they've made over the last 30 years with the golf course architecture people, where like Augusta in the 90s or 2000 I think their tiger proofing era planted a ton of trees on the right side of 11. And by planted, I mean they just like brought in ready to go trees.
They weren't going to wait.
No, they're not waiting.
80-foot pine trees on call right here. Just plant them.
We're going to put them. And they put them there. And then in recent years, which is kind of a cool feature, and kids, more about this having played in the Masters a bunch, but like on the right side of 11 now, there's trees and there's like fairway right of the trees, even on the part of 11, because they took a bunch out recently, but they left some that they thought were strategic where you're not completely blocked out. You have a chance. And like Rory hit that shot the last 2 years on the 11th hole where he was in the right trees. He was kind of on like fairway grass, and Tiger was over there when he won in 2019 as well, and able to hit some sort of shot over there instead of being completely blocked out. So point being, you're right. I think like Augusta's a great example of like old school, traditional Bobby Jones and Alistair McKenzie, and they've got a ton of fucking trees at Augusta.
Tons. Yeah.
I like trees.
Yeah, I think over there on 11, they learned also that super mature pine trees that are 150 feet tall don't really have branches low, so it doesn't affect your shot. If you notice the trees over there on 11, they kind of put smaller, more immature trees with the branches are closer to the ground. So guys have to really figure out if they're going to work these cuts off the water or they're going to hook it out over 12T to try to use the slope to bring it back to the green, where super 100-foot tall trees make the shot easier. That's just my 2 cents of looking at it. It's like they're just messing with us again. They're trying to make that shot harder by making these trees younger.
That's a great point. And you made a good point earlier too about like pine trees versus like trees in the New England are very, very different, because pine trees, like in Pinehurst, it's like when you're in the trees and it's like it's usually not that big of an issue. You have a shot because you have tons of room low because the branches are thin and grow higher versus I think about the same thing with like cypress trees in California. Those motherfuckers eat up every golf ball you hit near them, get dominated by cypress trees versus pine trees. I feel like you can kind of hit right through them most of the time. unless you hit the
and it's
tree
like
square.
palm trees in Florida. They're like the perfect apex height of your shot, right where you just smoke the branches and your ball just never comes out, or you lose it, and you don't even know what happened. It's amazing the whap that you hear when you hit those palm trees in Florida.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, that ball could be anywhere. It could be in that tree. It could go through it. I have no idea. Did anyone see it?
100%. But yeah, the trees like up here are no joke. I feel like they're like low, thick branches in a lot of spots when you get in the wrong spot, and so it does make a big difference. But yeah, that's talking trees.
That was some good tree talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good.
Nice tree talk.
All right, I got to go play golf.
All right, kids. That was a great performance out of you. I enjoyed that. You and Brian Harman going back and forth.
I could listen to you.
I know we need to get him on more often. I don't want to ask him every time, but he'll come on whenever we ask. He's amazing, and he can just shoot it. He can go right off the rails with us anywhere, any direction we want to go.
I think he took it off the rails. I think.
Yeah, you should see us like in the afternoons after hunting, and we're just sitting around hanging out, and where our brains go.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
you would fit right in, Frankie.
I
you
love
would just
it.
get us off the rails.
Yeah,
so
I was
fast.
stunned at how he like would take whatever we gave him and he would just run with it. Like we could go for hours.
He's amazing.
I can't tell you how fun our dinner was last
I
night.
bet.
We did that for 3 hours.
great.
He
I'm
was
sure.
just ripping. He's like, I'll go wherever you want to go.
Amazing. Yeah, we started talking about books, and he was ready.
Yo, dude.
Ready to go.
He-
Give us a goddamn history lesson.
Swamp Fox was ready to go.
Swamp Fox.
You wait till you read about the Swamp Fox, man. That's right down there
Can't wait.
where I hang out. He was a legend. Without him, it would have all been different.
It's sick.
I'm reading that. That's the next book I'm going to read.
So
Me too. I'm gonna start
I
reading.
tell Harmon he only got into Swamp Fox because they were the same size and stature.
Dude, he had a great story about Rory last night. He was saying, this is the last one before you got to go, kids, but he was saying that the workout truck or trailer or whatever it is now, he's like, that's our last sanctuary to like really be in there and like talking shit. Like the locker room, you can't do anymore. There's too many people in there.
That's right.
And he was like, we were in there with Rory recently, or I don't know if this was a couple years ago or something. And he was like, Rory said something to the effect of like, yeah, I could never be like one of you like Southern guys. Fortunately, he's like, I don't, or no, they were debating like who's the biggest liberal or something like that on tour. And Rory said something to the effect of, well, it might be me because like I'm not from the U.S. and I don't believe in God. And Harman said to him like, man, you're built as high as you're built and you hit the ball the way you do. How the hell do you not believe in God?
Damn, that's great. That's great.
Dude.
That is great.
That brought me to tears last night when he said that. Oh, it was awesome. And coming from Harman, who's like,
Great,
yeah.
Oh,
Probably not
He's
even
on
as
his
tall
hands
as Rory.
he's on his hands and knees thanking him.
Harmon always goes to the rant that Rory McIlroy driving the golf ball is the most impressive thing in sports. Fact, no other opinion. And I don't disagree. I mean, he has all the data to back it up. But he's like, if you go watch that sumbitch hit a driver, it's the most impressive thing in sports.
He might be right.
I know,
Brother.
Comparable to what he's supposed to do, and to
Right.
his peers, it's like him and Aaron Judge. Like Aaron Judge is hitting baseballs like no one
Yes.
ever has since. But yeah, it's
Aaron Judge is 7 feet tall.
I know,
Dude.
which is also insane that he's able to hit baseballs the way he does. Though
I did exactly what we were talking about yesterday for 30 minutes, and I was awestruck. It was fucking awesome watching him hit
Watching
drivers.
Rory.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just stood right behind him, 10 feet behind him, me and Mike Essie, and we just watched Rory hit drivers for
Perfect
like 30
draws.
minutes straight, and they didn't move
So impressive.
a yard left or right, and they were flying because they have the stats, flying 319, 325, 189 ball speed, 193 ball speed, dead straight, and then he would chit-chat for 5 minutes about God knows what. Him and Harry Diamond were laughing. They're looking at something on the phone. He would step right back in and just fucking roast one dead straight. It was awesome.
So cool.
go do that today, Kiz.
Let's do it. Happy PGA Championship week. I'm going to send you a parting gift to your phone right now to have a great weekend. That just keeps the people wondering what we text about on Threads, so I like to keep them
This
hanging.
could be anything.
Y'all have a great weekend.
You're the man,
Bye,
Kiz.
kids. Love you,
You're the man.
kids. You're the best. The next major in golf is here, and DraftKings Sportsbook has a new customer offer at Aronimink. When the leaderboard lightens and the pressure hits, the best players in the world show you exactly what they are made of. At this week's tournament, legacies take shape one shot at a time. DraftKings keeps the action going all 4 rounds, right until a champion is crowned. Bet player props live as the action unfolds from the first tee box to the 18th green. Every birdie, every bogey, every clutch putt when a major is on the line. New DraftKings customers, here's the deal. That is new DraftKings customers. Bet just $5 and you'll get $100 in bonus bets instantly. Make sure you use that code FORE. That is a $5 bet and you will get $100 in bonus bets instantly. We did the same game parlay, by the way. That's in golf now. You can do same game parlay in golf. We did it. We've got Ludwig Oberg is my pick to finish top 10.
I got Xander top 5.
And then I picked
Scotty top 5.
Scotty top 5.
Yep.
Scotty top 5. I believe
Because I did a personal one, the Scotty winning and Tommy Fleetwood top 10.
That's right.
Okay, so you got the SGPs going all
That's
over
right,
the place.
all over the place.
As you should, in a good, responsible manner. I'm so excited this week for DraftKings, man. Just getting skin in the game.
It's fun to just go look. I mean, I bet Cam Young to win because he's been playing so well. And I think I'm going to bet yes on hole in one.
That's fantastic.
I think I'm going to do that too.
You have to. It's just so much fun to root for. Even if you don't catch it in real time, you see, you'll go on Twitter or X or whatever it's
I'm in
called,
on that with you.
And you just, let's do it, because then it'll just pop up and it'll be like, oh, it happened. I won my bet. It's really a fun thing to just sort of follow throughout the weekend.
Another thing that I went in on very confidently this week, gentlemen, is under 267.5 being the winning score. That is 12.5 under par. So 13 or under or lower would be a winner.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I like that.
It's not the juiciest. It's like minus 130. But I just keep hearing you can hit the ball basically anywhere. Rory said there's no strategy off the tee. You bomb driver down there. Hopefully you got a wedge in your hands. You try to get it close on these greens. I'm not saying it's not going to defend itself because it is. But I'm hearing 15, 17, 20.
Now, how
under par
descriptive
with
do
this
they
thing.
get on the DraftKings Sportsbook when they're talking about lower and higher?
I knew you were going
on
to ask that.
You know what I mean? I know that it's like minus.
Well, it's just
14.
under, right? Because they don't do minus. They do 267.5 is just how many shots it
Oh,
took
so
you
they
for
didn't
the
even
week.
do the to par.
No.
Oh, okay.
I
You were
did
just
that for
saying
people
that.
to understand.
Got it. That makes
I'm
it
glad you
way-
did, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
It has to.
Yes.
Because that's hairy.
It's par 70, so 280 would be even par.
Got it. So you
Yeah.
did the math on your own.
Yes.
Okay.
I hope I got
Because
it right.
on the app, that would be confusing, right? Where it's like,
For sure.
oh,
little.
like 13 under or lower. And you're thinking, all right, now,
Right.
is that 8 or is that 14?
You have to have it as the over-under full strokes.
The number.
All
You
right.
have to.
Okay. Fantastic. They got to figure it out.
Which
do.
really is nuts that we don't just do golf that way.
I know.
Yeah. Because par is a construct.
It's not real.
Right.
No.
It's not real.
It's just about number of strokes.
We're looking at the number of strokes.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. Par means it's not meaningful. I mean,
That's right.
No.
it's just like how many you finished 4 rounds of golf. How many times did you strike the golf ball?
Right.
Right. Like, why isn't it commonplace to just say, 274?
Correct.
Right. Right.
100%.
That
Like
should be
I
the
do-
number that because we don't even know. We are huge golf fans. We talk about golf twice a week, and even more, we talk about it every day. And I wouldn't be able to tell you what like the average real number, like off the top of my head. I'm just like 270. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But we
Yeah.
know like generally 14 under par will win this tournament,
Yeah.
or the Masters will be like probably in the single digits. But like you won't be able to correlate that with a number off the top of your head.
Isn't it funny that we could do Uncommon, and again, DraftKings, $5, new customers, $5, you're going to get $10 in bonus bets
That's right.
instantly. We're doing a little talking here, so I want to make sure we get the call to action in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. But we can do it as much as one round. We can go, did you see Rory fired 66 today? It's
Right.
amazing.
Right.
We are incapable of doing it any deeper than that.
Correct.
Nobody's ever like,
Oh, Rory
Just
went
right.
135.
He went
for the
135 for the weekend. You're like, oh my God.
What the hell are you talking about?
Oh my God.
we're incapable, dude.
You said that at a
Incapable.
bar, they'd be like, you've never watched the sport in your life.
Yeah, get out of the bar.
And then
Dude,
imagine.
Rory's at 197 heading into Sunday.
Dude, it's, yeah.
Dude, Rory's at 197 heading into Sunday.
You would
Like,
get,
what?
I think you would
Also,
be
that would be an incredible number, I think.
197. See, I
Yeah.
can't do it. I
It's
can't
right.
do it.
He'd
no,
be
it would
averaging
be,
like
because if he
50,
shot
70.
if he shot 70, then he'd be at 260. No, that'd be pretty good actually.
Okay,
He'd be at
good.
267. He'd be right on the number,
Okay.
right? But yeah, that's like why on earth do we not just be like, wow, what a week, dude. He shot 263.
263?
We never say that.
That's
I
really
think through
funny.
3 and 2 rounds is very funny, saying the number.
Me too.
All right. Again, make sure you can turn $5 into $100 in bonus bets instantly. We love you, DraftKings. The code is FORE. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. You guys want to add an AI assistant to your work?
Yes.
Yeah, I bet you do, don't you?
I do.
Absolutely.
That's right. That's what I thought. Without leaving your workflow?
Yeah,
Correct.
that would be
You don't want to
easier.
leave that workflow.
I don't.
You're in
No.
that flow
I want to
state.
do work
with
as
work.
easy and as simple as possible, and
Me
as
too.
quickly.
built into Microsoft Word, Excel, and Outlook. Copilot, our great friend Copilot, our great AI assistant friend Copilot, works where you work, helping you do more in the apps that you are already using. In Outlook, we're here to talk about Outlook. It cuts through the noise to get you up to speed faster. Look, this is huge. We get 1 trillion emails, as everybody does. I've got tens of thousands waiting for me in my inbox that I'm not going to look at. But if I wanted to, Outlook helps a lot because you don't have to comb through every line and all the flowery BS and the greetings that people put in there. Microsoft Copilot, AI assistant, will just look at your emails, okay, and it will just get you cutting through all the noise, and it'll cliff notes what the hell the person actually said.
Yeah, I would say without Copilot, I have no idea what's going on in my inbox. Like you said, we get 1 million emails a day.
It's a war zone.
I'm also like signed up for companies will send me stuff that I just forget to like unsubscribe, whatever. With AI, with Copilot, it, like you're saying, it goes through all of it and it gets you the important things that you need to know to keep your job, to keep things on an even keel. You just need it to cut through all the noise.
I've got a soft floor brand for a child's playroom that's just got me in an absolute headlock in terms of the emails. Just right here noogieing me as much as it can. But thankfully with Copilot in Outlook, you can just sift through all of that stuff and it'll summarize the stuff that you really need.
Yep.
And as you're looking at it in a grand scope, this is the most important stuff. This is what my Microsoft Copilot AI assistant is telling me that I need to address first.
The apps go further with Copilot. Make sure you learn more at m365copilot.com/work. One last time, that link, you're going to want to go check this out. Make sure you do a little bit of learning, is m365copilot.com/work. All right, gentlemen, a couple more things to talk about, and then we can roll. CBS cucks Frankie with Rory's swing silhouette.
Oh, I was going to bring this up. Yeah, it's fucking crazy, man. I've been going through something recently. I called Brendan Jones. We talked for 40 minutes last night about just where my life is at in terms of things that I have ideas about that clearly they're just generic ideas that other people are taking or that they had the same ones. It started with that Dream 18 thing that I brought up a couple weeks ago. And this is me being very honest. So did you guys see the fallout of this? A lot of people on the YouTube comments were like, crazy that Frankie's big idea was literally a full episode on no laying up like yesterday. And I guess they went through.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Which is just like, for anyone that thinks that we're sitting there listening to like 1 million different shows and trying to pull. I have text messages. And I'm not saying that like they don't have an original idea or I don't have an original idea. I'm just saying that like we had this idea for the Dream 18 since like 2024. And it's been blogged about since like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
There's a Golf Digest and a golf.com article about like a Dream 18 that we would reference all the time in text message, Brendan and I, being like, hey, I think we could come up with a really cool idea if we pulled it off. The only reason I thought it would be unique to us is because I have this access to Long Island golf that like we could play Shinnecock and Sabonic and Fishers and Maidstone and hopefully like get the approval to film these videos, and I would film it as one long video. That was the idea. I have text messages with Links Gem since 2024 trying to go through a list, right? And we just sat on it for like 2 years because it's one of those ideas that like you really can't pull off. It's so hard.
Mm-hmm.
We've noticed, we just went out east to try and get approval to filming, and it was like pulling teeth trying to get out there with a camera.
Understandably so.
Like they want to try and keep it hush hush and they want to keep the club as private as possible, and I totally get it and respect it. So we've like kept that idea on the back on the back burner or the afterburner.
Back burner.
So I hadn't brought that up
cooking
in
reference?
2 years. Yeah,
Right. If you have
2
something on
years.
the back burner, it's like ready to come out for the meal later.
That's absolutely right.
Gotcha. I'm not a cook.
Like, I hadn't brought that idea. That's just something that Brendan and I talk about for 2 years, right? I brought it up randomly.
I've heard you bring it up 10 times.
During the Bob Does Sports episode, I brought it up. I think it was it? Oh, no. Yeah, it was during the Bob Does Sports episode. And everyone's like, they just talked about this. I'm like, what are the odds of that? You know, great idea on both parts, but like, what are the odds that the day I bring it up, someone had a podcast of it that day, right?
So did they do it or did they talk about it?
I think they talked about
Okay,
like, what their
okay.
ideal, like, which is just bad timing on my part. Now, picture me sitting here listening, and I don't even know if they did a show. Maybe they did that show a year ago. I have no idea. I just saw all the comments on it. I didn't go back and do my
I think you
due
stole your
diligence.
idea, dude.
Anyway,
Yep.
like you now, think about my brain thinking like, there's no fucking way. The day I brought it up, they did a fucking podcast about like. What am I living in a simulation? That's insane. Like I've talked about this for years. The day I bring it up to the public is the day it could look like I watched a podcast.
It's also, just so people do understand, that would be the number one thing we would never want to do, would be to take something that someone else.
We hate that.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
You'd rather stay as far away from that as possible. Never would your brain be like, wow, they came up with that idea on their show. I'm going to take
Which is why I'm bringing it up, like how outrageous it is, because we hate taking other people's ideas.
For
we
sure.
try to limit it as much as possible.
And
now
we give
are
credit if we think an idea is good. We've
correct.
always done that.
I mean,
Absolutely.
people are taking our ideas all the time, and we just
Sure.
like can't believe that they don't bring it up. You know what I mean? It's like a little
copycat
bit outrageous.
game.
Yeah, it is a copycat game. But like at the end of the day, I try and do as little. I try and search. If we have an idea, we try and search like if it's been out there, right?
For
Which
sure.
is how we found the article about
Mhm.
the Dream 18 and the whole deal. Anyway, that brings us to today or yesterday. I've been trying to think of ideas for the podcast, as I always do. I'll text Ryan Richardson, and back it was Alex Bush, like, hey, what do you think about this? If we surprise the guys with like a trivia question or a top 10 or whatever. And I've been watching a bunch of videos on Instagram. And who are those guys that I really like, since we're giving credit? The Makeshift podcast. So they have Makeshift like baseball, Makeshift, all that. And they do these videos with the two guys at the table. I freaking love them. I think they're unbelievable at social media. And they'll say like, I'm going to show you just like an inch of an MLB logo. Can you guess it? And they go through 5 of them. I'm trying to think of like, what's the version of golf with that, right? So I started going on ChatGPT and I took a bunch of photos and I said, make this into a silhouette. And I've been working on this for since Monday. And this is not the first time anyone's ever thought of making a silhouette swing. They do it with baseball. They do it with golf all the time.
Yeah.
I just thought it'd be interesting for the show. So it's not relevant to the PGA Championship. It's not an idea I've ever had in a million years.
True.
And I had about 20 silhouette swings ready to go to ask Kevin Kisner and you guys. And I thought it'd be a viral video of Kevin Kisner guessing all the tops of the swings in silhouette. You know, I had Cam Young. I had Kevin Kisner. Was he going to get his own? I had Rory McIlroy, all these guys. I was going to throw in a couple of fake ones in there, right? And I was going to do it on the show on Monday, but we went really long. And I felt like, you know, I shouldn't continue talking. It was like 11 o'clock at night. So I sat on it. Ryan Richard and I talked about it on text. You can look back. I'm like, should I do it? He's like, let's hold off on it, essentially. So we held off on it. I wake up yesterday, or I guess whatever. I go on my phone yesterday, and Rory McIlroy is going viral with Golf on CBS, Twitter and Instagram account. They're showing him fucking silhouette golf swings, and he's guessing these things off the top of his head. He said Michael Block. He said
100%. He was 100%.
100%. And everyone's hooting and hollering like, what an incredible idea to have him guess his peers' swings. And I'm thinking to myself, have I died and this is purgatory? Or like, I really do think I died in 2020. I'm convinced that something happened in 2020 where this is now the afterlife, because stuff like this is happening to me way too often, where like, I haven't thought about a silhouette in my life.
Right.
Neither has the producer of CBS Golf in his life. We both just happened to think about this idea this week. He just got his out before mine.
He did.
How outrageous is that? It's not relevant to the PGA Championship. We just happened to think about silhouette swings on the same week randomly.
After hundreds of weeks of you guys not thinking about
Thousands.
it. Yeah.
However many I've been alive.
Thousands of weeks.
You can zoom in without looking at all my photos, but like this is like these are my photos from like swim class the other day with Frankie Boy.
Love it.
And these are from May 11th. We also did the soda challenge. I had Big Don, my father-in-law. He had to guess all the sodas.
Very cool.
I got them all right.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
That's great.
It was so good. Coke Zero, Pepsi.
I saw you almost got closed the box the other night too.
I almost got shut the box.
Would you have a 10?
Anyway, these are all the freaking silhouettes, right? And they'll never see the light of day because we're not going to steal someone's idea.
No, we're not going to do it.
Go to Golf on CBS Twitter and Instagram account and watch that incredible Rory McIlroy video.
Rory's
hell of an idea.
Him getting LeBron James
Awesome.
was unbelievable.
Him getting Michael Block was psychotic.
Him getting Michael Block. Him getting Siwoo Kim, I thought. Like,
Crazy.
that's not the most. He has a pretty, like, cookie cutter swing, I thought, Siwoo Kim. And then him nailing the year of Tiger. He nailed Tiger, and then they're like, which year? And he's like, that's got to be 2000. And they're like, ding. He was so good at it.
He's a golf computer, though.
Dude, he called Jordan Spieth. He goes, I don't even need to see the swing, Jordan Spieth.
Yeah, no, it's a great idea, but, you know, Kiz would have done numbies.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Because he would have ripped right through him.
Yep.
And it's so impressive. just seeing the top of someone's swing and knowing it, really good.
Yeah, no, he was so impressive at that.
So that's what I got going on, man.
I think it's, the way that I would look at it if I were you, as opposed to just driving yourself crazy and thinking you're in purgatory and that you died in 2020, is that you've got good ideas.
Yeah, they're there. I'm throwing shit at the wall.
That's the way that I would look at it. Because you do have these ideas that eventually people come to as well, but those are just ideas.
Right.
We need as many ideas as we can get. So don't let it discourage you is what I'm trying to say.
And I know people could listen to this and be like, of course you came up with the idea that's already been said. He's just making these up. Why would I'm just saying what's going on in my life. I just think it's a funny thing that I'm holding on to things and then I'm seeing them pop up on. I think it's a lesson in just, you got to start firing from the hip. You got to stop holding on to ideas.
That might be right as well.
I kind of let them simmer. I sit. I wait.
Yeah, I think that might be the lesson as well. Just let them rip.
Let them rip. They don't have to be perfect.
No. It's a great idea.
Yeah, we've had some big moments to be like, if we're gonna get unlucky with some of these ideas, we've been lucky that they haven't happened to bigger videos, because there's been months we've had to sit on like Tiger Woods videos, for example.
Yeah.
And we've seen him go to like
a
Bridgestone shoot, and we're like, if he hits a drive off his fucking knees at this Bridgestone shoot video that comes out next week.
Or dude, what if he drove off the cliff that week? You know what I mean? Think about what Tiger Woods has gone through in the last couple of years.
Like, we know
every time we had a Tiger Woods video, things were clean from the day that we the day that we filmed it to the day that we released it.
2 to 3 months we wait.
I remember
for him a lifetime.
If he had the car flip thing that happened a couple months ago,
we're not releasing the video. No way.
Even just a little injury. I remember we were worried about him getting injured.
Yep.
Where it was like, if he gets hurt this week, we can't put our video out because people don't right. They don't understand like that we filmed it 4 months ago. They're like, you hurt Tiger Woods, and we're like,
you made Tiger down his knees and you ruined his career.
Right.
We couldn't put it out. So that's not to steal. You have been screwed, Frank. But we got lucky that it hasn't been bigger stuff.
I know. And this is all just like little stuff. Like I said, it's not the first time someone put a silhouette and made you guess.
I think it's the byproduct of you just putting up shots and having ideas, and that's gonna happen.
I love those makeshift guys. I'd love to have them on the podcast or like do something one day. They're fucking huge. They do well. Or like maybe golf with them. I think they're Long Island guys.
Oh really?
Really?
No way.
Really?
Ryan Richardson sees him in Hoboken.
Yeah, I would love to go do some Long Island golf. So I just want to hang out with them.
Hey, I'm in the clip game too.
Yeah,
that's how you approach them. I make clips too, and they're like, "What the fuck?"
Ryan Richardson had a funny little response when I was sending him the silhouettes. I sent him silhouettes to see if he would be able to get them.
Yeah,
and he said that I showed him one. He goes, "Tom Kim." I said, "Actually, it was Hideki Matsuyama. Interesting." It's a silhouette. What the fuck's that about?
What
are the odds of that?
I don't know.
That's fucking crazy. I laughed about that for 2 days. He goes, because he rattled them off. He goes, Cam Young, Rory McIlroy, Tom Kim. I go, well, the Tom Kim one's actually Hideki Matsuyama. It's just a silhouette.
It's a real bummer because
dude, in that silhouette, he does look like Tom Kim. He looks a little doughy. Look, doesn't he?
Yeah, I can see that. I would have never gotten that.
No, Hideki Matsuyama.
No, we're not going to do it, but I would have never gotten that.
No.
I watching the Rory one, I would not have gotten
Kevin Kisner.
I'm not doing it.
I would not have gotten Siwoo Kim. I would not have got LeBron James.
No way. I would have gotten LeBron.
I wouldn't have got LeBron.
Well, that swing is so like that one in particular, like kind of went viral of like right behind him, and he's just like all over the place. Most athletic guy on the planet that's ever lived, and he swings like that.
Yeah, shows you how hard.
But yeah, I mean, Charles was easy.
Michael Block, I would have sat.
Michael Block, I would have never got
for 50 years.
I would have never got.
What do you guys think about Michael Block right now?
Look, I think overexposure can happen to anyone.
Big
and
time.
I just think Michael Block's a little over. He was like his story. I try to return to a world where his story was in real time and pure, because it really is one of the coolest stories of all time. And this is another thing we talked about last night with Brian Harman, where he was mentioning that like. The fact that 20 of these people that are club pros play in the PGA Championship is incredibly awesome for them. And he's like, they should cherish every moment. He's like, but it's a wild fact that you've got people out there, 20 folks out there that like don't play golf at this level, even close to this level.
No,
right.
Ever. And they're in a major championship and they're out there. And he was like, at certain venues, there's just a 0% chance that any of them can contend or probably even make the cut. And then you go to the Michael Block story, And the fucking guy finished in the top 15.
It's impossible.
He made it ace playing with Rory.
Went right in the hole.
And like now, again, we laugh at the like, "Are you serious?" video.
Know,
like
so
of course we do. It's hilarious. But in the real moment, it
serious?
was insane. It was like this guy, and he's to give it the full context, right? Like Michael Block is not your like assistant pro when you walk into Eisenhower Blue and schedule a round, right? Like he is employed by this club in California to essentially represent the club playing in like the biggest tournaments that he can get in all over the place.
Right.
And so it's a little bit different. Having said that, still what he did was fucking insane. It was so sick. The hole-in-one while playing with Rory, the up and down on the 72nd hole, and making that putt to like stay in the top 15 so he could play the next year. But then, like he was on our show. He was on with like Bob Menery or Full Sin. And he was like, if I could hit it as far as Rory, I'd be the best player in the world. And then all that stuff. And then he took all the endorsement deals, right? Which he's a TaylorMade guy. I think he's like a Malbin guy. So I don't blame him taking all those deals. But it's just been a lot of Michael Block for 3 years.
Totally.
Yeah. There's no opinion that I can have right now that everybody else hasn't had already, where it's like, you like you said, overexposure shows a lot. It's just, you get thrust out there. They're like, you want to do this podcast? You want to do this podcast? You want this brand deal? Of course you're going to say yes to all of that.
Why wouldn't
and
you?
you're going to, if you're not in front of the media all the time, like all the rest of the guys, you're going to say things that are going to come off in a way that's like, wait, what did he say? And the Rory thing was a part of that. And it's just, it's now when Michael Block comes around and back into my life, I'm like, great. I get to watch Michael Block again. This is going to be at the very least interesting.
It's a little bit of a joke. Like when I see clips of him, I feel like a significant percentage of the entire experience is like we're laughing at him, kind of.
Which I don't love.
Do you know what I'm
He's
saying?
got like the tan now, and like he did the bowling thing. Did you see that yesterday?
Yeah.
He like hit a green, and like everyone was like, "All right," and he like did like a bowling thing as he walked down the tee box. And
yes, and like the comment, whichever account tweeted it or put it on Instagram, was like, "This is a real video."
Yes, this is a real video. It was Michael Block. He was like rolling a bowling ball.
So we're kind of laughing at him, like,
for sure.
I'm all for characters in the game of golf. So if he's going to lean in and start throwing bowling balls down the fairway, that's going to make me be more in on Michael Block.
It's true, man. It's true.
Speaking of the pros that are playing the PGA Championship, I have to give a shout out to Chris Gabriel, who grew up in Cold Spring Harbor and played on the Cold Spring Harbor Golf Club golf team, high school golf team. I was a senior. He had to have been either in 8th grade or 9th grade playing up. He was like this really, really good. I would call him like a phenom at the time because he was playing up against like our number one.
Yeah.
And now he is the head pro at Old Westbury Golf and Country Club and is playing in the PGA Championship.
Let's go.
So kid that played Big Rob in because we used to play Cold Spring Harbor twice, and Big Rob got matched up against him. And Big Rob is like 6'4", and this kid Gabriel was like a little tiny 8th or 9th grader. And I can very vividly remember his face. It's actually stunning and like shocking to see his grown-up face now. It just looks like a 28-year-old version of the kid that we remember from Cold Spring Harbor. It's nuts. Like he grew up exactly. I could have drew how he would grew up. And now he's in the PGA Championship. But I remember like he absolutely trounced Big Rob out there. I think we played like Piping Rock that day, and it was just like you can't believe that they let us out there and played against them. But yeah, really cool to see like a hometown Long Island guy in it. And I just think it's a really cool thing that the PGA Championship does. We always say that I think we tend to forget that might be a little bit of the identity of the PGA Championship because it doesn't typically ever come into factor into the championship. Like they all never really make the cut. And when they do, it's like a Michael Block situation where he ends up like getting so much exposure that he's rolling bowling balls down the tee box at the practice rounds. But if more guys performed well, that would be like by far the identity of the PGA Championship, that a bunch of regular dudes that are out there giving lessons at like Old Westbury Golf and Country Club are competing against, Rory McIlroy and Matt Fitzpatrick and Scotty Scheffler. We just need a couple of these guys to somehow catch lightning in a bottle. We need more Michael Block stories, and that can become the PGA Championship.
And it's cool because it is an enormous core part of the game of golf is that you need these golf professionals to drive the game. They don't make a ton of money, like they're not doing it because it's not like you're going into banking and you just like they do it for the love of the game. They sit there and they take phone call after phone call. If you're at a private club, you take phone call after phone call of complaints, requests, whatever it might be, tee times. You got drama amongst members. You're given lessons, which you're literally out there for hours trying to improve the average weekend golfer's game. You're ordering merchandise into the shop. Like, you're running what needs to be run for golf to exist. And if you're doing it at the public level, it's everything I said, even magnified, because you're trying to get, people who can't be members at country clubs the same exact experience that I just described. And so this event, run by the PGA of America, which that is what the PGA of America does. It has 30,000 plus members that do this job for a living, and they have a tournament, and the top 20 from that tournament get to play in a major championship, which is what PGA of America, through their efforts with the Ryder Cup and with the PGA Championship and with everything else that they do, they hold one of the biggest events in the game. They get to do with it what they want, and they have 20 spots for, like you said, these, like working class, hardworking version of the golf industry to play in a major championship. And they're fucking awesome.
Those guys are so impressive. Like, even, every club has them, but like at Colonial Springs, you've got Dan and Tom who are just there every day. No matter, whenever I show up and I like go and grab a club sandwich and I want to go out and hit the range, they're there and they're giving a lesson and they're there to talk golf with you. And they never have, a down day. They're always in great spirits. They want to talk golf. They want to talk about what's going on in your life. They're like they're life coaches. They're buddies that just like happen to live inside this pro shop, that every time you go in there, they're gonna brighten your day. Like, that takes a lot of energy, and like and this game can suck a lot out of you, because these guys also at one point had aspiring dreams to like try and make it professionally, and then now they teach golf, and like they want to give back to the game that they love in other ways aside from trying to make it on their own personal gain. So I absolutely love the whole entire PGA professional community. I just think that they are so important to this game. They grow the game. What Dan's doing at Colonial with the drive, chip, and putt. And like, Colonial Springs wasn't this club until he got there. It was obviously a great club for years and years and years, but he's turned it into this like family atmosphere. And like, there's all these like father-son events and member guest events. They never used to have that stuff. So like, just to see someone take the reins and like how important his role is at this has really opened my eyes to like what that role actually is. So it's been cool to see that side of it. And just another shout out to this kid, Chris Gabriel. The only reason he got into the PGA Championship is because he eagled the final hole at Bandon Dunes.
Whoa.
Come on.
Like, talk about fucking a ride of your life, man. Wow. You're out at the PGA Professionals Championship, and you need to get top 10 to get into the PGA Championship, and you eagle your final hole at Bandon Dunes.
Unreal.
Just the run of a lifetime.
Incredible.
He's 30 years old. This kid's peaking right now.
Great.
Go get it this week, Chris.
Yeah.
Let's shock the world for the island.
And shout out to Beef, man. This is like what Beef did.
Gosh.
When people think about, and I always think about this clip from, when Beef passed, and you guys did such a good job, Brendan and our whole crew, of putting together sort of a in-memory reel of Beef, and that, Cody, Beef Frankie, head golf professional of Foreplay Golf Podcast.
Incredible.
This is what he did. Yep. This is what he went to school for. This is what he was doing when we found him. He was at Thornberry Creek. He had been out in Palm Springs for a while.
Won an award out there.
Won an award for literally won an award for best in the region. I think.
Yeah, for best running the best shop that you possibly can in the whole entire Western region.
This is what our guy did for a living and what he wanted to do for a living. And in a similar way where like the PGA Championship, gives 20 of these folks a year an opportunity to play in a major, it was like he got this opportunity from Dave and through Foreplay to take our gig, and he still stuck true to it. Like, he changed his PGA membership to be out of the Chicago office so that he could technically remain a member of the PGA of America.
Yeah.
And he was technically the head golf professional of Barstool Chicago's fucking simulator. That was like what that guy did.
Legend.
Yeah. And those guys all, when he passed, and all the tweets and a lot of the comments that you saw on people's shows when they were addressing it that are out of the Chicago office were like, Beef would stay with me in the office till like 11 o'clock at night, just helping me with my golf swing. Yeah. And so he is such a good representation of exactly what we're talking about and what the PGA of America supports and represents and what it's made up of, which is all of their members. And so, and shout out to Cody's family. His mom, his dad, his brother, his family are keeping his legacy going They are going to launch, I believe, around his birthday, which is next week. They've been kind of talking with them quite a bit about the fund that they're doing. You know, we did the scholarship fund, so people are going to see more about that. But I'd be remiss if I didn't mention
of course.
Beef, and this is kind of what he did for a living. So kind of just think about him throughout the week. But it's a major. It's an awesome week. This is a great show. We love Brian Harman coming on.
So
It was
good.
awesome.
As always, he's the absolute man, and Kiz as always as well. So I don't know if I have anything else. You guys got anything
I
else?
want to give a shout out to Noah Khan's new album. I've been sitting on that.
it's
and
so good.
Before someone jumps on another podcast and gives a shout out to that, I'm learning from my mistakes. I'm going to rip that right now.
I love it.
I've been thinking about it for a couple weeks
Oh,
since it's been out. The Great Divide. And you can listen to the extended album. I think it's like The Last of the Bugs is the extended album with a couple of new tracks on
Yeah.
there. But honestly, and unskippable. There's no skips on that new album.
Yeah.
And if you watch the Noah Khan documentary on Netflix, I urge every person that's a fan of music, that's a fan of human beings, that's a fan of struggle and perseverance and never giving up and being doubtful of yourself. Like, this guy is he's so real and raw. And this documentary, for however long they were filming him, it really shows the rise of him. Unbelievable. The struggles that he has with his family and his dad and his relationship, and to put that onto his music, it makes you want him to be successful, which he is.
Mhm.
And it makes you listen to his music in a different way, and it touches you in a different way, and it resonates with you in a different way after you watch this documentary. It's just really, really cool. I mean, I was like an emotional wreck watching this thing.
Yeah, me too.
Because it's you could watch it too. It's unbelievable,
It's so
dude.
good.
It's so real, man. There's so many things that he opens up about. And I've often struggled with, like, oh, this generation everyone has an issue, right? And we say that sometimes at Barstool Sports. Dave will be like, everyone's got a mental issue at Barstool Sports. And like, you kind of say that to yourself too, like, oh, I'm a regular guy. I don't have many issues. And then you watch someone like Noah Khan, who you think is the same as you, talk about some of these issues. And you're like, oh, maybe I have some of the same things that he does. The anxieties about myself, or, you know, body image stuff he's talking about. I haven't worn shorts.
He's sitting there shirtless,
yeah.
right?
doing the body image stuff. I thought that was awesome.
So like, I haven't worn shorts in 9 years on camera. I'm like, maybe I have the same body dysmorphia images of myself. Like, I look at myself, I'm like, I can't even fathom someone seeing how skinny and pathetic my legs are. And I have a guy on Netflix who I consider now a friend, Noah Khan. He's a huge fan of the show and one of the best guys on the planet. Like, I have him on Netflix basically like bringing that to light, and him breaking down, saying, I don't know that he's ever even recognized that he had that issue. And I'm watching that being like, oh my God, maybe that's something that I have. So like, one of my buddies on Netflix now is like opening up something in my brain that maybe I'll go and fucking wear shorts one of these videos. I don't know. I'm not making any promises because I might still have like an issue there, but really just
going to get it done, man.
I got a text from Adidas actually. They're like, hey, all right, so I'm actually going to claim body dysmorphia now because they can't say anything. I got a text from Adidas being like, hey, we're putting together decks. Like, are you sure you want to wear shorts? It's totally up to you. And I felt the need. I was like, yeah, I'll wear them at some point this year. So that was a huge step.
Huge.
That was a huge step. But no, yeah, just unbelievable album. I'm not the first person that has to say it. I'm not breaking any news here. The guy's like #1 album in the country. I can't wait to go see him live. Hopefully we get a chance to go see him on this tour, but really, really good stuff. I know you guys are huge fans.
Huge fan. And on top of all of that stuff from, I think it's called Out of Body.
Out of Body is the Netflix documentary.
Also, just the pressure to make the second album.
Oof.
Because the first one was a phenomenon.
Yeah.
And it's, Stick Season is a great album. I've listened to that a million times, just like everybody has. And like, the second album is always tough because you're like, is it going to be as good as the first one? And he talks all about, the pressures of making another great album and how he sort of took his time with it. It took a long time. He could have just rushed and like put one out because he was hot whatever time when all that was going on. And it's like, I'm sure he's got pressure from the label, like, put something out. You're the guy right now. And he's like, I'm going to wait. I'm going to go through my process. And then he put out The Great Divide, and it's an incredible 100 out of 100 album.
Dude, not easy to do. And I'm not saying it's ever easy to make an album. I have no idea. And it seems really hard. But for him, that is an incredibly unique style of music.
Yes.
Him doing like folk music and coming out, it's understandable that the first one could hit where it's different. People are like, oh shit, different. But it's so hard to do that again with that type of music.
Big
and
time.
not have it be like, oh, it's more of the same. It's phenomenal how good the new album is. Like, it's absolutely excellent. And he's such a good dude, how open he was throughout the entire thing. And I always just get like, it's like, I love the Justin Bieber doc that was on Netflix and the Taylor Swift one, because anytime it builds up to a show that is like culturally iconic, I just get the chills. It's like the peak of why anyone would strive to do anything. It's like, this is so cool. It affects so many people. Oh my God, the pressures. When they're building up to him doing the Fenway shows, it's just the most.
He can't speak, but then he sings a song for the girl who's fighting cancer. And
I couldn't believe when he's sitting there just giving her like the solo show right before he's about to do this Fenway show. All of it was just really powerful. It was awesome.
Yeah, and like being frustrated with your dad, and like we've all been frustrated with our dads before, and he's like so open about that. And I'm sure Frankie will be frustrated with me, and to like just to see someone struggle with the inner workings of a father-son relationship, and then he writes that song "Willing and Able," and it's absolutely incredible. So yeah, I couldn't recommend it more. It's amazing, and yeah, to be able to follow that up on the music side is insane. It's absolutely insane to like come up with tell that story again. And he even said, like, do I have to go struggle in Vermont to like write another album? Like, is this like what my life has become?
Right.
To?
He is so in a place, and I've heard other artists talk about this, where it's like the struggle that I was going through to make the first album. Do I want to like cure, quote unquote, myself? And is that going to take the creativity away? Like that struggle of being like, do I need, if I get better, go to therapy, work through all of these things, is that going to take the artistic side of me away? That is such an interesting look into those guys' lives and like how they deal with their issues and also how they try to put it into their music. So much so that they're like, if I get better, am I going to be worse at my job?
Not many people can tell their life story in an album like him. It's like him and Taylor Swift, and there's like a couple. It's like a handful of people that are able to do it. Where you listen to song 1 to 16, and you get a whole outlook of their life and how they're feeling. Like the first album was about, well, not the first. He has many albums, but Stick Season for sure was about like mental health and living in this town during COVID, and it's like nobody's in this type of town, and you got to just get out, and once you get out, like what's your life like there? And then this one, he got out and now he's living in Nashville, and the whole album's about like going back and almost being a stranger, and like they don't want you back in that town, and you're growing your hair out looking like Jesus, and like who are you to come back here? I still live with my dad, and I have like a pretty normal life, and like now Noah Khan's coming back. Like, come back if you need help to write is like one of his lines, like come see me if you need another song. Like he took his struggles now. Which
if you want to come use us, like come back here, sure.
Like he couldn't find the writing for the new album, and then it hit him where he's like, oh, like the struggles that I'm having to write the new album, that's the album.
Exactly.
Incredible.
How cool is that?
So good.
That light bulb moment of like, oh wait, it's not about like living in my dad's house now. It's the fact that I have to go back to my dad's house and it's not the same.
That's the album.
Oh, I fucking love it. How cool is that?
If you're listening to this and you haven't gotten into Noah Khan, do it.
Do it, man.
It's so good.
It's great.
It reminded me a lot of the Bruce movie, when the Bruce Springsteen movie, when they're like, he kind of goes through in a similar way where he's sort of fighting with like this new album. And I was texting with Kirk about it. Kirk obviously was like, he was like, I hate it, but he was like,
he's a big Bruce.
He's the biggest Bruce guy in the world. But he was like, I completely get how if you don't know all of that stuff, he's like, you would love it. And he and I were going back and forth, and it made me think of that. And then the other thing we were just talking about with like, should I cure myself or not? It in a weird way made me think a lot of like Fat Perez and the shit that he would get from Bob on. He's like, well, if I get skinny and in shape, Bob would be like, you're not allowed to do that. You're like the Fat Perez guy. He's doing it, and he's still the man.
The man.
And it's funny, but stuff like that is very funny where it's like the struggle or the imperfections or the self-consciousness or whatever it might be that I needed to like convey artistically or comedically or whatever to people to get to where I'm at. Do I need to do that forever?
If comedians do, I'm not like actors deal with that with comedy. Like Jonah Hill was always like the fat punching bag, and like he was always like, I want to be skinny and healthy.
Right.
He's like,
is that okay?
And he's like getting less roles as that character because he like lost weight. You know what I mean?
They're like, we can't do this.
Yeah.
We can't work with this.
Yeah. Zach Galifianakis, he like lost a bunch of weight.
Yeah.
I think I saw an interview with him talking about that.
It's a great
It
album.
makes them less funny to like the public. So it's like a struggle of like, once you keep your body
You're
image.
not funny. You're just an in shape normal guy. Why is that funny?
Song Sung Blue. You ever see that movie?
Did I see
A Song
that movie?
Sung Blue.
No.
If we're doing recommendations. It just came out. Hugh Jackman. It's amazing.
Really?
It's amazing.
I gotta see that.
Yes, you have to see it.
I got a book to read and I got a movie to
Yeah,
see.
Swamp Fox and a Song Sung Blue.
Sung Blue.
We got some content to consume.
Yeah, we do.
It's so good, dude. You're gonna love it.
Okay.
Some material to get through.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
All right.
All right, boys.
All right. Great show. As always, thank you, everybody, for listening. We will be back. I believe we're going to do a Monday release after
Love it.
the PGA. We're going to record on Sunday evening like we do for major championships. So just a little scheduling note. This bad boy will be out Monday morning. We'll kind of react to the entire PGA Championship. I think we're in for a great one. I think the stars could be aligning for a very rare thing at golf, which is like the biggest names at the top of the world rankings actually battling it out for a major championship. We kind of got it at the Masters. Like Scotty made the run, posted the score, finished second to Rory, but they weren't really battling. They weren't in the same group, the whole deal. We very rarely ever got Tiger versus Phil, even though it felt like that era was Tiger versus Phil. It's just always kind of that way through golf. You don't really get it direct very often. Who knows? The stars could be aligning this weekend. We got Scotty, we got Rory, we got Cam Young playing great. Could be Tommy Fleetwood's time. It could be Jordan Spieth's time to get the Grand Slam. There's a ton of storylines going into the weekend. So very excited. Enjoy the PGA. Appreciate everyone in Philly. Great turnout in Philly, man. I was out on the course yesterday. We have so much support in Philly. They've been buying the hell out of the merchandise, which means the world to us. It always has. So if you're going there this weekend, we're rocking the stuff right now. But if you're going to Aronimink this weekend, make sure you check out in the fan shop. We got a whole section. Our team's there working really hard. They already ordered like a several thousand unit refill because you guys in Philadelphia and all the golf fans have been buying and supporting so much of the merchandise. So we appreciate the hell out of that. But love Philly. I did have a Philly cheesesteak 2 nights ago. It was fucking delicious.
Yep.
So I love
You got to
Philly.
get one today.
Yeah.
I would love to on our way to whatever we're doing next.
A lot of history, a lot of character in this town, and we're going to have a great weekend of major championship golf. We'll be back on Monday morning. Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.